Maybe not. I was trying to upload a MOV to the bam, we're live. I was trying to, upload a MOV to the oh, that's all you have to do. Wow, holy shit.
What did you find?
All you have to do is change it, any video you wanna upload from a .mov to
MP4?
MP4. You don't even have to convert it, you just change the letters.
No shit.
Yeah, I just did that. I just I just changed I'm like, "Fuck you, what if I just tell you an MP4? Yeah, look, I just uploaded this. That means it's ready."
Oh, man.
No converter, nothing. I tried exporting, I tried doing all these things, and I didn't have an app to convert it.
That's crazy.
Hey, guys, I just wanna show you something, early this morning, that some of you might find. I've talked about this before, but now I got the whole thing here. So this is a, DJI Action Cam 5. It's basically the competitor to, GoPro's 13 or something like that, GoPro 15, whatever they're on. GoPro's great camera too. Great, 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 great camera. But basically, here's the camera, and then you can pay a little extra and you can get this handle, and this handle has a I think this handle has a battery in it maybe, and so it gives you a little more charge on this camera. But what's so crazy about this camera, it does everything. It shoots in slow motion, it has stabilization, all that stuff. It has great audio. It has a little I have a little extra case for it on the outside here so I could mount a little shotgun mic if I wanted to. But this is if you're gonna make this, I leave this around my house all the time so my kids can make movies. And I'm gonna show you what I'm teaching my 10-year-old now. But here's the craziest part about this camera. It has these mics that you can get. I think they're like $169. I think this camera is like 450, and these
Mhm.
mics are like $169. And you can just take these mics, open the case, right? And I can just pull this little tiny mic out, and it's already connected. Oh, no, it's not. I don't I don't have it set up. I must have disconnected it from my kids. But you just take this little mic out of the box, push a button, and it's connected, and you can just set it on someone. And you can push a button on your camera, so it records the audio from the camera to one channel, one track, and this mic to another track, so you could have both tracks
Damn. Wow.
with one button push.
Yeah, that's
It'll
crazy.
separate them for you. Yeah, this is shit like this is like and then soon as I put this back in this charging case, it disconnects and it goes just to this thing being the mic. And
Yeah.
it even gets crazier. There's 2 fucking mics in here. Look how little these are. And you don't have to fuck with this thing at all, this part,
Receiver, yeah.
because
It's already connected to the
already
camera.
it's connected because it's the same company. The Chinese cracked the code. This thing is so tiny.
Yeah, that's crazy. I was playing around with that camera a lot in Scottsdale. It's super easy to use too.
And the footage came out great. I've been editing it. The footage came out great.
Oh, really? I was gonna ask. I was gonna
Yeah,
ask
I've
what
been
happened with
editing
that.
it.
Okay.
The footage is beautiful. The
Yeah,
footage
there's
is
so
beautiful.
much footage too. Those things had a lot of battery and lasted like
Never came
I don't know,
close to running
farther.
out of battery.
No. Mm-mm.
No. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I have not tried putting a shotgun mic on here, but the fact that it automatically switches the audio to 2 channels or 1 channel based on what you're doing and you don't have to think about it,
Yeah.
game changer. I'll put one of my fancy links that I figure out how to do for the DJI, Action Cam and these, somewhere in the video. So if anyone but this is like this, and if you spent probably 15 minutes a day, watching videos on how to use Final Cut Pro. The reason why I would get Final Cut Pro, I've always been a huge supporter of Adobe. The reason why I would get Final Cut Pro is you pay $199 for it once, and it's on your Mac, and because it's an Apple product, it's optimized to work great on Apple. Not that Adobe's king, but I've been using Final Cut Pro. I went from Final Cut Pro in the beginning to Adobe. Now I'm doing Final Cut Pro with my kids because it's just to pay $199 forever instead of $199 a month for the suite.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Adobe's on a subscription. No, I don't think Apple sucks. I think I'm starting to really like Final Cut Pro. I'm starting to really like it. So, uh, Yeah, you could be a master editor. I mean, you could be master editor in a month. Hey, did you see that? Did you see that ad I sent you this morning?
The AI thing?
Yeah, what do you think about that?
Yeah. The
Sent Su
AI or
I
all
sent
the
Su I sent Susan this Instagram commercial. They're trying to get you to buy this package, and they're basically it's a program to, if you spend 15 minutes a day learning AI and follow their kind of educational course, it'll change your life in a month.
5 DVDs to the best. Um, have you looked into any of that AI stuff yet? Like a
No.
lot?
All
I
I know is that every once in a while, someone will send me a picture of me that they made with AI, and I've heard you can just go to Adobe and put in a picture of someone and put Sevon on a horse, and it does it.
Yeah, I haven't messed with any of the photos or the video stuff, but all the optimization as far as like summarizing emails or finding stuff in your files or doing that through Google because I have it
Yeah.
all interlinked. It's nuts. Like when you really spend time to sit down to do it, like especially if it's hooked up to your email and to your calendar and stuff like that, or Google Tasks. So you can prompt it to say, "Hey, find me an email, the last 3 emails from Sevon, summarize them, put it in the action, give me like the action items out of it, then
Uh-huh.
put those action items into my tasks." And then it'll pull up all the emails, it'll show you the whatever, and then it'll say like, "Okay, move these to your tasks." Then you say yes, and then in your tasks, you could set alarms for all of them. So rather
When
than like combing through emails and like finding and reading and trying to figure out what to do, it'll summarize it, categorize it, and then move it all toward wherever you want it.
when Floyd 19 happened, I did a search, on my, Google whatever, and I typed in Nigger to search if that word had ever been used anywhere in my, do you know that? Did I spell do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't remember, I don't see color, nor do I hear. Okay, I don't know.
I'm like, I wonder if anyone's ever used this word in my 15 years here in anywhere in any of my and it searched all my G chats and all my emails and it popped up. There was one I mean, I had never used it, God forbid. I mean, I can use it.
Right, yeah, you got yeah, yeah, situation.
I can. But I had never used it. I tried not to I don't like to put it in writing. I prefer video.
Mm.
Last a little longer, can be directed, attached to me. But, there was I found, like, one person who had used it in a conversation with me before. Could I ask AI to search all my Google shit and be like, "Hey, who's my most racist friend?" Like, could I?
Yeah, you have to prompt it differently, though. You have to prompt it
I
differently. You
could
probably can't say, like, most racist friend, but you could definitely
"Dear A
keyword search.
dear AI, by the, sentence structure, can you search all my emails and tell me who my most racist friend is?"
Dude, have you seen the little AI chatbot? Like, how far down the rabbit hole have you gone? You just saw that? Okay.
0, dude. I see it on
Dude.
Twitter, and I see it on the top of, Instagram, and now when I search in Google, like, it tries to, like, tell me shit that's always wrong, you know what I mean? It'll be like, white people make 300,000 a year and black people only make $27,000 a year. I'm like, "That can't be true," so I just ignore it, you know what I mean? I just do a little I go to the data myself. I don't trust that fucking thing at the top, but that's all
Yeah.
I know about AI, and that Photoshop can make you, you can make Sevon kissing Sporty Beth.
Yeah, that was weird. The,
No,
AI
was it? No, it was not.
no,
No.
not at all. It was
Oh.
natural. The no code stuff, it's like it's all already written in and you just basically plug it in like building blocks. And so it has this AI agent that like runs
Where?
whatever function
Where?
you prompt it to. The app or the site is called N8N. At least that's the one I was watching on yesterday. So if you type that into YouTube, dude, like, so you could link all of those things and you could see the machine like running, and it's basically like a mind dump like diagram. So you put in like, okay, we're gonna talk to
Tell
it
me
through
when
like
it's again, sorry. I had to restart my computer this morning because my power went out.
N. Yeah.
N8N.com?
Just type that in the Google search and see. I think it's like that might be a company name or the app name.
N8N.io. Okay, secure AI native. Okay, I'm here.
Yeah. So all that stuff right there is all like you could just build up. Did you bring it up? Yeah. So scroll down just a hair. So you see that little, it looks like a little diagram or a
This
flow
thing?
chart.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So they'll plug all your automations into that with like a little AI chatbot. And the reason why I'm not getting super specific is honestly, I just don't know that much about it. But then when you prompt it, you could hook it up to like your Gmail and everything. So then once you have your AI agent hooked up, I could ask it, I could say, hey, ask Sevon if he's busy on Friday, if he has time to go get lunch at noon. Send him an email to confirm. And then it'll write out the email, send it to you, block it off on my calendar, wait for your response. If you say yes or no, it'll do the function in my calendar, then send me an email that you accepted and you're good to go. And then do I need to send anything back to you? So you could talk to it like a personal assistant and has access to all of your, whatever you give it, emails, creating labels,
Contacts.
calendars, contacts, access. And then one of them was showing that it did one that did a keyword search that fed that keyword to another bot that printed out a blog on that keyword search. Then it
Yeah.
was hooked to WordPress and it automatically posted the blog post onto WordPress after it created it. And then it told it to optimize it for SEO in that particular thing, and then use that SEO optimization not only in writing the content, but then plugging it into WordPress as well too. Like that.
Hey, dude, you know, I mean, I know I've talked to you about this, you and I have shared this. The only thing that makes that this is so Susan and I were talking yesterday the other day, and we were talking about people who work at CrossFit HQ who think that they're working for HQ. And truly, I say this with a peace and love and no humility. If you ever wanted to know what it was like to work at HQ, there's nowhere. I say this with complete honesty. That's closer to working at HQ than working with the Sevon podcast. Like HQ is nothing like it used to be. This is like if you're in this circle of people who I work with, this is exactly like if you ever wonder what it was like to work at HQ, this is exactly it. The only problem is like, well, we even have more access to Greg now than we did when he was at HQ. But the only thing that we're missing is if we had a blog with a daily workout and we had a seminar and an affiliate program, we just don't have the revenue generating parts, but it's all here. I'm just blown away. This is exactly what it was like.
So then my dream came true.
Yeah. You got it. Yeah. You always wanted to work at HQ.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And you say, Sevon, what do you mean by that? Well, here's the thing. We have the game show, we have the affiliate show, we have the business show, we have the programming show. We have all the shows. We have the founder of CrossFit on every Wednesday. We have access to Chris Cooper, Bill and Katie, Dave. Like this is so same, but different. Yeah. It's so crazy. Well, we have two great things coming. I am so excited about Jake Chapman.
Mhm.
I am so, dude, that interview could not have gone any better.
Yeah, he was great. I was gonna make a joke when you were sending him the text this morning.
Yeah.
And you were like, hey, have access to this person, like, if you want to bring them on all the time and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the first thing I was going to type back is like, shit, we better figure out how to get some sub captions into this thing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to understand either of those guys.
Right. Pedro and Jake on the same show. I actually, when I spoke to Jake on the podcast, I had no problem understanding with him, to him. But yesterday we chatted for about an hour on the phone, and I have to concentrate.
That's how it is. But I've been obviously chatting with Pedro a lot more in the last couple of weeks. And so that's how it is with me too. Like with you, I could be like doing a bunch of other stuff and listen and still get all of it. With him, if I'm doing a bunch of other things and listening, I'm just like, oh shit, you got to re-say everything. I didn't get the word.
I suspect Jake has an extremely high level of social awareness. That's so fucking high that he doesn't want to be around a lot of people. And the fact that it was the same person that I see in the chat that was on the podcast, but different. He was just in a different surrounding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He knew we were playing basketball and not soccer. He knew, like we were at church and not at a comedy club. It was crazy. And then when I talked to him on the phone, it's the same way. Like you just cut through the bullshit and you just like, we were just working shit out yesterday. And that Jake Chapman show or whatever he ends up calling it, that's going to end up being the voice of CrossFit in Europe. He's going to, his dedication to movement, health, fitness, kids, conservative values. When he described the Isle of Man, it sounded like just the most brilliant place. It sounds like it's the only place to raise your kids. They should actually even promote that.
Yeah, it sounded one Netflix episode. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's not a one Netflix episode from being a horror movie too, but
I was tripping. I went over to Meredith Root's account, her diet, her and Alex Parker's, like, they have a big nutrition account, like 250,000 followers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, very successful. And I went over there, this is piggybacking off of the pedo thing, and I went over there and I watched this video that Meredith did talking about the Kendrick Lamar halftime show and how much she loved it. And to be honest with you, I couldn't understand any there's, I went through like 10 of her posts, and her posts are, very interesting. She communicates with her audience in a way that I never communicate with my audience. Like, she says stuff like, "Your truth is your real truth. Don't be afraid to be don't be afraid to be yourself. Speak your truth. Be unapologetically you." I never know what it's like when people say, "Hey, talk I feel you in my heart," or stuff. Like, I don't know what they're saying. You know what I mean? And then you go to the fucking comments, dude, and it's like 500 people saying, "This is what I needed to hear today." And I'm like, "Holy shit, this is," and it's really the stuff she says is, if I'm gonna put it with I'm gonna say this with no negativity, it must be like some 600,000-foot view that I can't get to. Do you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
so broad. She's so big picture. Do you know it's the meme that,
She's so big picture.
she is, and I used to be like that when I was a libtard too. You're so big picture, you love everyone, even the murderers and the pedophiles, and do you know what I mean? You love everyone. She's like
Yeah.
Jesus, dude.
But she's not, because if you disagree with her ideology, she's gonna drop that hammer.
Well, you know,
She don't
Jesus,
love everybody. She loves you unless you
I was
disagree
watching
with
it,
her
I'm like,
political beliefs.
maybe she's the second coming. It's pretty amazing. And then I was tripping on the fact that she you know, this whole thing, like, if you didn't understand Kendrick Lamar's, like, if you don't understand that the Mona Lisa is looking this way, because that's a sign for revolt, and if you don't understand that the eagle and the US presidential stamp, when it's looking at the olive branches, that means we're in peace, and then when it's looking at the arrows, we're in war, and it's like, ooh, the symbolism, and people just getting off on that shit, you know what I mean? And they're talking about all this symbolism in, Kendrick's, Super Bowl halftime show. He was dancing on a Sony remote, and Drake loves Sony PlayStation, so that was a dig at Sony. And do you know, have you seen this, like, and I'm like, "Whoa."
Dude.
And they're like, "You're so stupid and old because you don't get it." I'm like, "Oh." But here's the part that threw me off. It's 2 black men fighting, and one of them calling the other one a pedo. So first of all, you're celebrating division in the black community, but I thought you liked pedos. Do you know what I mean? I thought you know what's happening in Washington State right now? They're passing a
Mm-mm.
law, Sousa, brought up by 3 Democrats,
Mm.
that reduces the sentencing. If you get caught in a pedophile sting, there's a certain sentencing, right? So if you go
Mhm.
to meet a 13-year-old boy,
Mhm.
by the way, it's always men meeting boys. It's so weird.
You know why? They're targeted. They said it's
These politicians are saying that if you get caught and it's a fake boy, so let's say I'm pretending to be a 13-year-old boy and you come to meet me to fuck me in the ass,
Yep.
that the crime should be less than if it was a real 13-year-old boy. And those politicians are spending time trying to write laws to distinguish the difference between meeting a real 13-year-old boy and someone pretending to be one. I was reading the law yesterday. I was like, "What the
Jesus.
fuck is going on in Washington State?" Anyway, I was just tripping on Meredith's, I don't even I mean, I guess I can empathize because I used to be there. I used to be like, "Hey, just love everyone, just cast the big net."
That just sounds like terrible discretion. Zero discernment,
Well, no
right?
one
Like,
you have no one in your life. The reason why is no one in my life was like, "Hey, what if he raped your sister?"
right.
And then you get someone who might be like, "Well, that doesn't happen," and then you Google sisters being raped, and it's like, you know, fucking 1 in 10, and you're like, "What the fuck?"
I don't understand tolerance around pedophiles either.
How about yesterday that the body cam footage that guy said where, they took that couple and then chopped off her tits, chopped off his penis, and put the baby in the oven alive.
It's disturbing. I don't even know how your brain could go to some sort of dark, demented places like that, let alone carry any of that out. Like, you have to have something
Right,
programmed
right.
into your
You have to sit there and watch it
program.
too.
You have
Yeah,
to have something so deeply programmed. I didn't even wanna hear about it, let alone
yeah,
watch it, let alone
yes.
commit it.
Hey,
Like,
but
dude.
you just said the problem. You just said the problem. I keep imagining myself huddling my whole family together at Christmas and being like, "Hey guys, look at this," and playing it on the TV.
Jesus.
And he
You'd fuck your kids up, dude. You know what I mean? Like, even just
well,
seeing that.
not my kids, but I meant like all the adults in my family who have sorry, all the adults in my family who have opinions about Israel and Palestine.
Uh, yeah,
And
it's like
just be like,
consistent.
"Hey dude, you see that this isn't like one person, this is a whole fucking culture?"
A culture that celebrates it, because otherwise you would have such guilt and shame, which mostly comes from society and culture around doing that. So imagine the type of culture you would have to where you would commit something like that, and that was not only acceptable, but celebrated.
Reward
What the fuck?
yeah, rewarded. You get money every month for the rest of your life.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane.
Did, Sebi just complain about symbolism? No, I did not I was not complaining at all, so that's a mistake. Uh, and then explain how the halftime show is symbolic of a law being passed in Washington. No, 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 no. Sorry, sorry. I'm all over the place. I apologize. I completely understand. I own that. What I'm saying is that part wasn't symbolism. I guess he overtly said he sing in his song, he says something like, A minor, like referring to Drake, like getting with a minor, playing off of the pun. That shit I like puns and shit, it's cool. But what I'm saying is there's a cohort of people who think that, like, if you didn't catch the symbolism or the double entendres in, Kendrick's performance, that, like, he was dancing on a Sony PlayStation remote and that was a diss at Drake, that somehow you didn't get it. It's like, "Hey, dude, even if I now that I do get it, I still don't think it's cool." I thought it was a complete fucking disaster. And just so you know, I keep reading comments about people who were in the stadium saying that the halftime show is complete shit. When I went to the Super Bowl, I think Beyonce was there, it was complete shit too. From the stands, you can't figure out anything. If we couldn't figure out what was going on with the cameras on the field, I promise you no one in the stands. It just looks like garbage running around.
Yeah.
So, and Samuel L. Jackson was like, whatever. But that's a distinction. What I'm saying is all the libtards loved Kendrick's performance, but he was being divisive, not through symbolism, but overtly with black on black men, which the libs love. We know they love planting that, and then um, and then being against pedophilia, and we know the libs are not against pedophilia.
That's weird.
So that's my point. I don't think that's oh, all right, I'm lost.
By the way, if you get all the symbolism in the halftime football, show, I would argue you probably need to do some more things in your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, if you got that much time to sit there and decipher that whole thing and then try to shit on other people because they don't understand it.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing I was gonna say about Jake Chapman, which is the opposite of the conversation we just went to, is he seemed very intentional about everything he does. Like, it's thought through. Like, I moved here because of this. We wanted to live like this. Then we're gonna do this. Like, it was like
Yeah.
he thought it out.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
intentional,
Yes.
as opposed to all the
He
high
didn't go there
level,
because the shape of the island reminded him of his roots.
or he felt at one with his heart. He liked the vibe when he
Yes.
arrived, right? Like, no, like he had like his
Yes.
his stuff. And it's the opposite of what you were saying with like the Meredith Ruth thing, where you were giving him the pass by saying, like, oh no, it's so high level, maybe I don't understand it. I just think it's so aloof that you can't pin him down with an opinion. And so if you talk like that, everybody just takes their own definition of what you're saying and runs with it. It's like the Maxwell Hodge post from the other day. Like, he said a million words and said absolutely nothing at the same time. And then
Right.
we have to process and
Yes.
interpret it. Well,
Right.
I think he was saying I'm hanging with CrossFit, but I'm doing this or what. And like we're like, well, we don't know what he fucking said because it was 30 slides of a bunch of jumble.
Right.
And he could have made it into 2 or 3 words,
It's too
and
big it's
gave
too
his
big
opinion.
yeah, it's too big picture, so I have to insert all the places you put pronouns and, obscure things and, abstract ideas, I have to plug it in. And that's why people will be like, um, uh that's why people will be like, I love that, because they don't get that they're plugging those things in with their brain. And by the way, that's also why the left has a field day with Trump, because he doesn't do that.
Right.
He just, everything is specifics.
Mhm.
He now calls him Governor Trudeau. Have you heard that?
Yeah, yeah.
He calls him Governor.
It's amazing.
Dude,
It's
it's
amazing.
amazing.
And you know what's interesting about that is I think people in this community, of all communities, would completely reject the, aloof, definitionless actions, because in all the early talks with CrossFit, Greg would go up on top at the whiteboard and would talk and would say, "Yeah, we're looking for intensity." And he would say, "Now hold on. Intensity means this to this person, this to this person, this to this person, and we have to define it." And that's kind of where this whole thing originated from, right? So,
Right,
like,
right. Well
as
said.
CrossFitters, we should not only be running the protocol, but the thinking of it too. Like, well, how is this defined? Can I measure it? Can I observe it? Can it be repeated? So what is this information that I'm taking in, right? And does it fit into these same categories as the protocol of exercise I use day in and day out? And if it doesn't, then maybe you should reject it, because you wouldn't accept that in your workouts.
Um, going to from what you said about Max El-Haj and then this CrossFit thing. I saw someone wrote The View in the comments. That's why The View is so amazing, because they actually do drill down and say stuff. They say the quiet part out loud that you're not supposed to say if you're a Democrat, because it shows you're crazy, and they do. So kudos to them. They say the weirdest shit, right? I'm trying to think of an example so I don't
It's
say
like when they were talking about the deportation, and she goes, "Well, who's gonna clean your toilets, Mr. Trump?" And then the
Yes,
rest of them are
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. Fair
"Oh,
question. Yeah, great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
They don't even get it. Then they just pile on each other, because they're like little rabid fucking hyenas waiting for the next person to screw up so they could show their moral superiority.
Hey, I'm watching the show The Chosen, and I had no idea how stupid people were back then. They were even dumber than we are now. And I didn't yeah, I'm no bibliophile, like, I don't know if that's a word, expert on the Bible, but there was something I've realized after 2 seasons now. They had this thing there called Judaism wasn't a religion back then. It was a law. And then I realized, oh shit, that's the difference between the United at 50 years old, I'm finally realizing it. That's the difference between the United States and some of these other countries. That's why it's so important to have the separation of religion and state, or to have a religion that is a legit, like, quality law. So
Mhm,
when Jesus came, they thought that the Jews were enslaved by the Romans. The Romans, like, were top of the food chain, right?
mhm,
And then the
mhm.
Jews, like, just like were like I don't know if enslaved is the right word, but there's definitely a class system. Like, the Romans, like, are all the police officers. They collect all the taxes from the Jews. It would be basically like someone came into our country and just started collecting taxes from us, and then also didn't let us get the first harvest, the good food. You know what I mean?
So
They're
the
basic.
US government, yeah.
So they think that Jesus is there to free them from the Romans. Like, they're stuck in this I don't know if I'm explaining it well. They're stuck in this world of laws. Like, they don't even have spirituality. Like, it's when he came, it was the first time there was, like, a distinction between law and your relationship with God. Prior to that, at least in the way the movie's depicting it, law and your path to God were identical.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? The law
Mhm.
of the town was the law of God, and
Right.
and there were all these fucking absurd laws,
Mhm.
like, just retarded shit. And Jesus, you couldn't heal someone, like, on a certain day of the week, or you couldn't pick fruit from a tree during a certain day of the week, and all this shit. And Jesus is like, "What the
So they were in
fuck?"
California?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sounds awfully familiar, don't it?
It's fascinating how stupid these, they portray the, disciples and apostles. Like, they literally would fucking see this dude heal someone, like someone
Mhm.
who's just completely fucked up, and then still question this guy.
Man, I cannot get, like, my off the parallels of what's happening in life right now and what you're saying on the show.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yep.
ivermectin.
Yeah.
So they
Yes,
used
yes,
it, it cured the
yes.
COVID, and everybody else said,
Yeah,
"No, it didn't work."
yeah, okay, maybe we are just as dumb as they are.
I always laugh because when I got really into, like, stoicism and stuff, I realized I was like, "Man, we have all these cool fancy tools, but the operating system, the brain, hasn't changed since then." So all the same things still apply internally. The only thing different is we have these fancy external tools. So we think we're somehow more advanced, but really we're not. It's the same exact hardware.
Right. Right.
Yeah, or I should say software.
Yeah,
Both,
yeah, I
really.
understood what you meant, yeah.
Yeah.
Sevon needs to go to Vacation Bible School.
Bible camp.
Yeah, Sevon, we all know he did that, and yet look around at everyone who still doesn't believe in Jesus. Well, I don't know he did it. I'm just I don't know he did it. I hear what you're saying. I'm just watching the movie. And hey, dude, there's this you should see it. You would be fascinated by it. So then there's a documentary that I stumbled upon. It's called Jonathan and Jesus. And it's a story about the guy who played Jesus in that movie and how it affects his life.
Mm-hmm.
And the fucking guy's an apartment manager with no fucking money. Doesn't even have enough money to buy groceries, and yet he's playing Jesus, for some, self-funded movie. So it shows him, like, cleaning out someone's apartment after they move out. It's a big apartment complex. Shows him, like, vacuuming the hallways. Dude.
That's amazing.
Oh, the documentary's so good, dude. It's so good.
Yeah, you kind of sold me on that. I want to check that out now.
It's so good. You'll be a better person for watching it. And by the way, I've said this before, but it's a leadership movie. Anyone please, for anyone who's got like this big like fear of religious shit, don't go into it like that. Go in there and enjoy it. He's an amazing character, and there's so many good ways on how to treat people, and the way he believes, and the way he directs people, and the way he interacts with people. It's like, it's top notch. Gabe Epsy, that was a great interpretation, Sevi. That's where Jesus became the savior to bridge the spiritual and human form. Yeah, thank you. That's what I mean. It's so trippy that they used to think that way, and I didn't know that. It would be impossible. I don't understand how. No wonder the Bible never made any sense to me. I didn't realize that was their law then, and that's why all those countries like Iran and Iraq and all those countries that have like religious law, why they're so fucked up. It's basically shackles to stay human and not transcend and communicate with God. It's weird. It's some really weird shit.
Yeah, it's even weirder when the institutions write in those laws.
Yeah.
Or change them and reform them, because like apparently if they came from God, then it's the infallible truth, right? So like the scriptures or the word shouldn't be changed, but then we rely on institutions to update the text or to interpret it in different ways for society to understand. But it's kind of strange because it's all human text, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, careful, blasphemy. I think the believers believe that God wrote the Bible. Don't they? Isn't it like the word of God?
I'm very ignorant in religion.
Like he wrote it through the disciples. I do like it. I do like saying King of Jews. I do like it that Jesus is King of Jews. That's really fun to say.
King of Jews.
King of Jews. Isn't that fun? Hey, and now I understand. I used to watch Howard Stern, and there was a guy called King of Blacks. I never understood that. I guess that was a biblical reference.
Oh, isn't that funny? You remember that reference, and you're like, I get it now.
Yeah.
Years later.
Yeah. I want to show you. What's the guy's name? Chandler. This was another one. This is what I think. Bear with me here. I think this is I'm just off the cuff. Okay. I think this is what the athletes want to say. Hey man, we've been competing for 15 years and the prize money hasn't increased, and all of us want to be millionaires and be driving Bugattis.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And
cross between a car and a yacht.
and it sucks, and we train so hard every single day, and then last year fucking Lazar died, and like you didn't have enough fucking lifeguards out there, and fucking we're at the end of our careers, and this is just fucking bullshit. Fuck off. We're done with your bullshit. Like I think that would be. I don't think anyone's been that concise.
No.
Like no one's like, dude, I fucking was in a race and fucking Lazar Jukic died. And And now what? Like, how, like, I'm fucking pissed, man. I'm just fucking pissed. Dave, come on, Dave. Come on, Don. Just here's 5 questions for you. How are swim events gonna be different? Is Lazar's family suing? How much did he get paid money? Do you guys think you fucked up? I realize that a bunch of it's our fucking responsibility, but this fucking really hurts. No one, like, not one fucking athlete is just let it fly. You know that they're having these conversations though behind closed doors. You know what I mean? Like, with themselves.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Just no one wants to say it. I mean, Annie did a whole thing and referred to Lazar Jukic as an athlete that died, or
Yeah,
a fellow
that was
competitor.
bad taste.
I mean, we are in fucking bizarro world.
Mhm.
But then Chandler Smith posts this. Do you know who that is? The black
Yeah.
guy
Oh,
competitor?
yeah. Yeah, I like Chandler Smith a lot.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah,
Cool as shit, right?
great guy. Always
And,
been really good to me at events. Always called me by my first name before I even knew that he knew who I was and everything else. Yeah.
so he writes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 posts.
Mm.
And once again, I read this whole thing and I didn't know. Like, let me just dive in. This is just randomly. I'm not even just let me just dive. CrossFit has been a huge force for good in my life and in the lives of millions across the world. Okay, I get that.
Mhm.
However, many have also experienced equally strong rejection and disillusionment, especially in the wake of the brand's response to the death of Lazar Jukic. What? What
That's
did
a
he just say?
big leap there. It's a conflation of, like, how the athletes might feel about a very specific event that only they experienced versus the millions of lives that were saved and are continuing to walk in affiliates, every single day. That's a bad conflation. I don't think it works for me.
It's another one of those things. I was gonna read it. It's just too long to read.
Yeah. Maybe he's counting on that.
But I but
Just
I
weed
read
us out.
but I read it twice, and it sounded like a guy who was really frustrated. It has a ton of contradictions, and, most of it's in the clouds, and I have to plug in, like, there's words like disillusionment that I have to be like, "Okay, what's he referencing?"
Right.
You know, I have to pause and be like, I have to make up my own shit. But I don't, but all I think of, I have when I do the same thing everyone else does. Well, shouldn't say everyone else, but I have to walk away and be like, "Okay, this fucking dude is pissed because he wants some blame on Lazar's, death, and he doesn't think that the money." But that my 2 takeaways, he doesn't think the prize money is, enough at the games, and Lazar died, and he's
Mhm.
pissed.
That's kind of the big picture takeaway of all of it, right? Like, almost all like, this whole
Yeah.
thing. If you had to boil it down, it's like, "Hey, we want more money, and for some reason, in different aspects, we thought we were treated unfairly for multiple years. Then after Lazar passes, we're like, okay, that's the final straw. Now we're gonna take this frustration and place it over here."
And so the real delusion, I don't know if the disillusion, but the real delusion, in my opinion, is like, hey, in 18 years, someone was bound to die at the CrossFit Games. You're fucking absolutely delusional if you never thought that that was going to happen. And 2, you're completely delusional if you thought that it was a good idea to try to make a living from being a an exercise. I don't want to use a pejorative, but if you thought that, being a a CrossFit Games participant
Mhm.
was
Mhm.
going was a good was I mean, especially him. I think he went to college. I think he was in the army. I think he's got a lot of skills.
Yeah.
And if he thought that the best use of his skills to make a living and put bread, yeah, I just think like, hey, dude, like, you were batshit crazy with your assessment of what this was from the beginning.
Mhm.
And I haven't heard one athlete say that either.
Yeah, because I think they're inside their own vacuum. I It's weird because you would view it as like,
Well, Colton knows. I mean, he never was delusioned, but Colton knows.
yeah, but and he's
I think Austin Hatfield knows. I mean, we'll see. I think James Sprague knows. I mean, we'll find out. There's the evolution of the athlete.
totally, yeah, but I also, yeah, it's just it's weird. It's like they signed up to do this thing in the hope of getting this crown and potentially some prize money, that at some point that like opportunity turned into this weird like entitlement, you know?
Yeah,
There
yeah.
was like
I respect the dream. That part you said, I respect the dream. You want to be the fittest person? That's fucking dope.
yeah, there was
But
like the
what did you say? Then they leap to it. It's not a
dude, there was like the 5
better not
stages.
complain that you're not making enough money because it's obvious from everyone from the outside, from the affiliate and the affiliate owners know it too.
Oh
It's like,
yeah.
this is a tough road to hoe. When Sousa told me, he's like, you know what I missed the most? The reason why I got into CrossFit was I wanted to be a revolutionary. And when Greg was here, we were revolutionaries. We were fucking like, the guys, we were Robin Hood.
Mhm.
And now we're not.
Mhm.
And the athletes, I think, have forgotten that too. Like, hey, dude, you're not a professional athlete. You're fucking Robin Hood. You're a revolutionary.
Yeah, I mean, that's I love that. I have to have that part of whatever it is. There has to be a little bit of this like rebel kind of big picture change and this audacious goal that
Skateboarding, aerosol arts, and now yesterday you healed me off the couch using FaceTime and a fucking lacrosse
lacrosse ball.
ball.
Yeah.
Well, instead of me going to the doctor or the chiropractor. It's a
Yeah,
revolution.
and I know you kind of listened to some of the show from yesterday, and we talked a little bit about that, but like it was
Susan was
like
on the CrossFit Training Podcast. Amazing show. Fantastic show. I loved how you kept giving Greg credit, by the way, too. That was so nice. I would love it when people do that, but go on.
yeah, and that's absolute truth too, because it was like when you think the more you think about it, the more you realize how incredibly right he was like 20 years back, right? By the way, it's kind of funny because then thank you for saying it was a good podcast. A bunch of people reached out to like via DM or just even shot me a text, which was really awesome
She
because
was a
without
great host, too. You have a lot of experience, and for her to come on the air with you is pretty crazy.
yeah, Mel was awesome.
Yeah, she was great, too. Yeah.
She was good. And I'm glad everybody did that and sent that because I went back and I checked, of course you got to see what the numbers are doing. And it's like the worst performing thing on their YouTube channel.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, it was great. I mean,
It's bad.
but compared to other podcasts they've done?
Yeah, I think Bryson Del Monte on Glinton Things beat me out already.
Oh, shit, that's bad. Well, hey, it was good. It was good.
Oh, RIP my ego. But yeah, it was cool. But I found the thing here, which was the 5 stages to dependency, right? And it's almost like you could imagine a CrossFit Games, way back in the day. But appreciation is number 1. You're just happy it exists. It's there. Fuck, dude, look at this opportunity. It's great.
Okay,
Anticip-
tell me what this is. I wanna write this down as you say it. The 5 what?
yeah, it's Toxic Charity by Robert Lupton, Lupton. The 5 stages of dependency.
Okay. Oh, 5 stages of dependency. Okay.
Okay, so stage number 1 is appreciation. Oh my God, Sevan, thank you so much for allowing me to borrow $20. I really appreciate it. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for the opportunity to be the fittest on earth. The second one is anticipation. Oh, I hope I get to do that again next year. They
Mm.
better have it.
Mm.
The third one is
That's
expectation.
how I always felt. That's how you just described to me anytime I could be intimate with a girl in the first 5 years of my life.
Anticipation, appreciation, anticipation.
Anticipation, yeah.
Ready?
Oh my God.
Expectation.
Oh.
Bet you better give it up.
Wow.
You think I bought
Yeah.
that steak dinner again?
Wow.
All
I better
right.
get a hand job when I drop you off.
Damn right. Number 4, entitlement.
Wow.
Entitlement.
So 2 to 3 is kind of when you cross over the
Yeah, when it moves
point of no
from
return.
yeah, and appreciation turns to anticipation, and the second it becomes expectation, that's when you cross the threshold. Fourth one is entitlement, and then the last one is dependency.
Wow. Then you're fucked. Hey,
Think about government handouts.
when I worked at CrossFit, it was like that. We had become such a fucking force and the company was growing so fucking fast. And the talk was that we would be around forever and no one could get fired. No one ever got fired, right? And everyone was just allowed to do what they want. And there became a dependency that was crazy. And that's why when fucking he cut the media team, it was like people had crossed. I mean, the entitlement and the dependency was crazy.
Yeah, they're deep stage 4 and 5.
Yeah. And that's why so many people also turned on Greg because when he sold, no one ever met because we were unbuyable. And so when they when we crossed over into when he sold the company, all their dependency, entitlement, expectation, anticipation got fucking obliterated.
Mm-hmm.
They were pissed at him. And that all goes in the face of personal responsibility and accountability.
Mm-hmm.
Your
Think
dad
about it.
dies. Your dad dies and donates his $10 million dollar estate to charity, and you go from appreciating having a loving dad to your
Anticipating
anticipation
you're
of
gonna get
getting his
something.
wealth,
Yep.
the expectation of getting his wealth, to the
Yep.
entitlement. It's yours.
You deserve it. Yep.
Yeah, and then dependency
Yeah.
of it. Like you've already started planning your future around it. Holy
Yep.
shit, dude! What's the name of that book? Toxic Charity.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's a book. I heard it a while back. I can't remember where. I want to say it was on a podcast or something like that. But yeah, it just stuck with me because if you think about it in terms of like, it reminded myself as like a teenager, right? Like, hey, Dad, can I borrow the car? Yeah, go ahead. Oh, awesome. It's when
Yes.
like, hey, he'll probably let me borrow it this Friday. He let me borrow it last Friday. Dad, can I borrow the car? Yeah. Okay, cool. Got it. Hey, I could get the car on Friday, right? Like he let me borrow it the last two. I got friends and shit. We already told them that we were taking it. To, what do you mean I can't drive the car this Friday? I did everything you said. To, I need the car this Friday. You're gonna ruin my life if I can't drive it. I've told everybody already I would do this.
Hey, that's the hostage. Back when I cared about sharing how to raise kids, that's the hostage. Once you have kids, you're in a hostage situation at all times. They're holding you hostage because the second you do one thing for them, they go through those phases. They appreciate it, then they anticipate it, they
Mhm.
expect it, they're entitled, and they depend on it, right? So
Yep.
every morning you're giving them Fruit Loops, and if you pull it back one morning,
Yep.
war. And so
Yeah.
you're like, "Do I wanna go to war?" And and so, toxic charity, how churches and charities hurt those they help. Charity
Um,
detox,
this
toxic
was just
charity.
an X thing. Do you want me just to send you the link for it?
No, it's okay. I just wanted to put it. I'm so excited to use our DJI uh Action Pro. I'm so excited to like put links to like anything we talk about in the show.
Oh yeah.
I'm so excited by that.
Hey, should I get verified on social media platforms? Has that helped any of your stuff? I just clicked this Twitter thing and you popped up immediately that the show is live and it's populating on X for me.
Oh, I'm glad I got it. I'm glad I
On,
got it. It was I got it for Twitter because
so we could do lives there. You
lives,
have to
and I
do
got it for
lives. Yeah.
Instagram to try to so that hopefully I'll pop when I wasn't getting it for ego reasons. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like fought it for as long as I can. And then finally I was like, okay, I'm gonna get it. And with the justification that
You get out of social media jail.
no, that when I DM people to come on the show, I populate higher.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you this.
Occasion.
I don't know when you did it via Instagram, but I never, ever, ever saw any of your stuff populate ever. Like never your stories. If I wanted to see your post, I had to like type your thing in, and then I had to but basically spell your name out to get it to show up. Now all your stuff populates. Like all your stories, you're always at the top.
Oh,
All,
that's
I probably see like 85 to 90% of the stuff you post too.
I recently went to that little bell.
Notifications, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like clicking ones like I always want to see dense updates.
Mm-hmm.
Because people will go a month without like, my wife's never I should do that to my wife. My wife's and my mom's and my like, no one ever pops up in my IG that, like, my wife will be like, "Did you see my post?" I'm like, "No, I didn't even know you're on Instagram." You know? It's like
Yeah, yeah.
so I'm gonna start doing that, using that bell and turn on all notifications.
Yeah, on people's stuff who you wanna see. I think I
I
have that on, like, the CrossFit Games and, like, a couple other like, Spins account, like, stuff like that. So right when they post, it'll show up in my notifications.
I feel like my Instagram, yeah, Spin's a good one to turn that on.
Yeah.
I feel like my whole Instagram game has changed. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, it seems different. I get fed so much 9/11 conspiracy. Like, I'm deep, dude.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
With the planes and all that thing?
All of it. Yep, we could go anywhere with that conversation. I feel like I got a PhD.
Do you know
It's
don't you
bad.
hate it? Like, I get convinced. I watched this 3-hour documentary about the moon landing, and it was, like,
Yeah,
saying how it's true and how it's false and just both
yeah.
sides, 3 hours, dude. It was a crazy doc. It's so good. I wish I could remember the name of it. But then when I see people who are saying, now if I see any clips that pop up on my Instagram where people are saying it's true or it's false and they're saying stupid shit, it annoys me. So like I'll see things like people be like, "There's no way we went to the moon," and they'll give some reason that's
Stupid.
yeah,
Yeah.
like, hey, dude, like there's some real legitimate reasons, and all you're doing is giving cannon fodder to people who are like, "Wow, this guy's an idiot. We really did go to the moon."
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, dude, stay out of the conversation unless you're gonna give good shit.
Yeah. It always has me going back and forth between like how much truth do they sacrifice for order?
How much truth did they sacrifice? Is there some sort of relationship there?
Yeah. Like think about it, right? Like oftentimes from the top down, especially whether it's a parent to a kid or whatever, you're lying for for order. You're hiding the truth because you want the order of things to happen the way it is. Dad, we want the Fruit Loops. We want the Fruit Loops. Guys, we're out of the Fruit Loops. I told you, I ate that last bowl last night. Really, it's in the top cabinet. They can't see. Why? Because you just want order right now. You need them to shut up. We have a couple things we have to do. And if we do the Fruit Loop thing or we get into this argument about it, like it's going to just throw everything off. So I'm just going to lie.
Right.
We don't have any more Fruit Loops. So that now I've hid the truth for the sake of order.
That's a great example.
Honey, does this dress make me look fat?
No, fuck no. You look
No,
great. Turn
babe.
around. Oh, yeah. Awesome.
That's right. Truth for order.
No, turn around.
Truth for order.
How the fuck is that conversation supposed to work? Don't do that, people. Don't do white lies.
Like 9/11 or the moon landing. Truth for order.
I mean, if those ones are crazy too. But don't be on the phone with someone and say you have to go and make up a reason. Just practice. Just getting off,
dude.
Just practice. Yours.
I was my coffee out
Graciano Rubio writes, "Yours is perfect, honey. The big ones hurt." Solid. He's a fucking wordsmith.
God.
Graciano could sell you a fucking bridge that didn't exist with that kind of shit.
Oh man, I love his one-liners.
Yeah, I practice getting off. Yeah, practice getting off. Just practice getting off. No small lies. It's so much. You know what's crazy too? If I use that paradigm of thought, the more you start getting rid of those little white lies, you'll flow into a natural, effortless order. So the first time you tell your kids no, there'll be a fight. But if you stay consistent there, it will flow into just a normal order, and the order that God wants, the natural order. Everything will just start flowing. You don't, and if it pisses someone off that you always just get off the phone with like, okay, I'm done, and hang up, then that person goes. It's okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to deal with. Yeah, it's okay.
It's funny that you went right to the religion for the truth and order because that's kind of that's like the holy grail of it.
Tell me.
Just that. Is it truth or is it order?
Oh. Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. You just that's even a better explanation. Religion used to be for fucking order.
Yep. That's why it had to be the law.
Then Jesus came and he's like, nah, dude, it's to fucking go to heaven. And I can't, and I didn't fucking know that. Like now I fucking get it. But I just can't believe there were that many fucking stupid people that fell for that. But I mean, shit, like you said, like there's people who are saying that men are women and women are men, and
defend it, dude.
Yeah.
Defend it. Exile family members for that thought.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I will take the government mandated drugs. I trust the government. I will give them to my newborn child. Dude, we live in a sci-fi movie. Child 617 is born. Bring the needles over and inject him. Protect him from the atmosphere as quick as possible, please. Injection complete.
We had those files. They were just in building 7. They were in this one section of the Pentagon where the plane hit.
Religion is still the law for billions. Yeah, you just nailed it. He comes, and my wife's gonna be like, "No, Sevon, you said it all wrong." When I get out, I'm like, "Fuck, you know that she'll unfuck me." But so he came and he freed them from religious law and brought them God.
Yeah, and you could say in that example that
Oh God, I might watch this show like 3 times.
maybe he flipped it, right? So then they were exploiting the truth for order. And he did what you said, which is like, no, the Fruit Loops are up there. You guys just can't have any. And you're not going to have any because you don't want to have any because you're going to act accordingly with the truth,
Right,
not just the order. So
right,
you could interpret it
right.
that the other way, that
I'm
Jesus
your
came.
dad, and I decided they're bad for you, and that's the way it is.
And I'm not
When you're
forcing
older and free, when you get free yourself from me, from the shackles of me, you can eat all the Fruit Loops you want.
right. And then they won't eat the Fruit Loops because they understand the decisions that were made. Like, right. So, like,
Right.
if there was like the 10 Commandments or
Matter of fact,
whatever,
they're gonna hate you because when they find out you didn't stand up to them, they're gonna resent you.
could be. Yeah. And so, like, if Jesus came and showed the 10 Commandments, is like here's the word of God, and this is why the way you guys shop right. It's not ruled by a king. They're not going to come down here and cut your hands off if you don't. But if you want to be into the eternal kingdom, then act accordingly. And no one's going to put the governor on you. Now it's up to you. You have the information. You know.
And so we want to live in a country where the laws allow you to follow the rules of Jesus.
Ideally, yeah, because typically if you just start with the golden rule of treat others how you want to be treated, then you immediately have to go to justice. And then
Right.
if once you get the justice figured out, you could construct society around what is fair and what is just.
God, man, that is a fucking very narrow alleyway. That's a very narrow eye of a needle to thread. Try to run a civilization like that. Holy shit.
I mean, it's also fragile anyways, right?
Yeah.
It's a house of cards. Think about all it takes is a literal light switch to just fuck us all up into chaos. Turn off the power grid for a month.
God, that would be fucking wild.
Yeah.
So someone made a comment about Chandler, and I was gonna there was something, it inspired a thought that ran away. Maybe it'll run back. Hey, I didn't take Advil this morning. So I went to bed last night, and I the last 3 nights I've been taking 3 Advil in the morning, 3 Advil when I wake up.
Mm-hmm.
Last night I didn't take any Advil when I went to sleep, and I didn't take any this morning. So that's a good sign, right?
Yeah.
That means, like, it's not because I'm any less of a pussy, it's because my back's not hurting as much.
That's good.
Yeah. And thank you for FaceTiming me yesterday.
Oh yeah, no problem. Of course.
It was crazy how you're just like, ask me 5 questions, and the next thing you know, or 2 days ago, I'm moving my legs. Caller, hi. You're like Jesus.
Hey.
You're like FaceTime Jesus. You healed me.
You said your wife was going to correct you, but I was calling to do it first.
Oh, thank you, Bryson. Go ahead.
So,
Is this Bryson?
are you thinking that the people in the Old Testament were just following their own law or the law that God gave them?
I have no idea.
Sounds like Bryson.
I have no idea. Is this Bryson?
This is not Bryson.
Oh, okay. You sound like Bryson. Are you cute like Bryson? Do your eyes point forward like an owl in your head?
Shooter.
Cuter than Bryson. Okay. I don't know. I mean, I know that the religious people, believers, believe that was given by God, right? That law.
Well, that's the whole point. Is like Jesus didn't come to take it away. He even said he came to fulfill it, not to abolish it. So he's basically saying he's the one that gave it in the first place, but they got it wrong insofar as they thought. There's one verse where he says, you thought that the Sabbath was for God, but the Sabbath was made for man. So it was made for your good, but you guys are abusing it in such a way that you think that it's the way to get to me, when it's actually me trying to get to you so that you guys would actually do the things that would make everything better for yourselves. Like all of society would be better if you took that one day off, or if you
Right.
every 7 years too, you'd take that, you'd move like where you're planting all your crops. It's better for everything if you follow this law. And they were thinking about, well, we're going to actually double and triple it to make ourselves look better before God. And then Jesus comes and says, no, let me just fulfill it, because you guys are missing the point entirely. And it's about loving your neighbor. But the law itself was inseparable from religion. So the religion of that day was the same, was dictated by God himself in both law and in spiritual practice, and the signs and the covenants and all the things, the rituals, the sacrifices. So there's three different types of law in that sense. There's the sacrificial law, there's the civil law, and I forget the third one, but I digress.
Hold on one second.
It's more complicated than.
Let me just. I got to take you back a second. So, what was it? What were the two you said though? Sacrificial and what? And what was the other one?
Well, there's the ceremonial law,
Okay.
like the law that.
Okay. Hey, I really appreciate you calling. Let me chime in here and then ask you a question. When I was in my 20s and I got the Bible on audio tape, and it was like literally 100 tapes. It was like this big. It was like the only thing I owned. I was homeless and I came across it like in a free box for clothes, and I got it, and then I got a Walkman from someone. I started listening to the Bible, and after listening to it, I remember thinking, wow, this is the fucking greatest psychological tool to help yourself. But if you use this and point it at other people, you are fucking Satan. That's what Satan is, using the Bible to judge other people. I remember distinctly thinking that, wow, this is some evil shit if you try to project this shit onto other people. This is just for navigating your own inner landscape. Like the rule book, you know, you know how people will say life doesn't come with the rule book. I was like, this fucking thing's the rule book. This thing is an instruction manual. But if you try to force other people to do it, so that's what I think when I hear you talk about the Sabbath, that's what I hear. Like, yeah, it's for you to take a rest so you could commune with God. It's not for judging your fellow man. But what do you mean Jesus came for fulfillment? What like that? That's completely over my head. That word means nothing to me. Can you?
So Jesus, because he lived a perfect life, that's the only way that he could stand as a substitution for what was the sacrificial lamb. So every year they would do this ritual where they would sacrifice a lamb for the sins of the people, but that lamb would be a spotless lamb. And so Jesus is, instead of that lamb was actually meant to be pointing to him. So he comes as a perfect substitute for what should be our sacrifice, our death, our punishment. And he instead stands there as a fulfillment of all the laws. And the third type is moral, by the way. So there's civil, ceremonial, and moral. All three types will fulfilled perfectly by Jesus. It's coming from, like, starting from his birth all the way to his death.
Well, not the ceremonial one. The ceremonial one he transcended. He got rid of the ceremonial law.
No, while he was on earth, he obeyed, and his parents did too. In fact, one of the first things you find
he didn't eat on Saturday, or he didn't pick grain on Saturday, or is the Sabbath Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday back then.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's still Saturday, but now Sunday is the Lord's Day.
I still don't know what you mean by fulfill. So he did a perfect job, but I still don't understand why that.
It's important because it's the substance of what was the shadow in the Old Testament rituals and sacrifices. He's the substance of it, insofar that he is perfect.
I get that part. I get that part.
Yeah.
But I just don't understand how it fulfills it. Like, listen, Matt Suze is the perfect executive producer, but like, I still have to come here at 7 a.m. and do the show. He didn't fulfill it. He got to do his own show. I still have to do my own show, even though Jesus fulfills it, right?
As far as the law applied to one particular person, he was perfect in following it.
And I'm with you there, but I just don't get the leap to what he fulfilled. I understand. I'm starting to understand the message he brought, because I didn't realize how stupid the people were at that time. But I don't get how that absolves other people from still trying to follow God's law.
So since God is perfectly just, he has to have actual justice for the law that was basically disobeyed. So for every person that there can only be one sacrifice, and that sacrifice has to be perfect and spotless, right? That's the whole picture of the Lamb in the Old Testament. And in order to satisfy the justice that God demands, there has to be, there's no such thing as just simple forgiveness. There's something, and somebody has to always take the punishment. It's either the person that was offended or the person that does the offense. So as God, as the one that takes the offense, he's saying, I'm going to actually put it on myself and not demand punishment for the people that offended me, which it's very much an offense. To turn your back on God, to constantly go after things that are creation instead of creator, it's constant, right? So he, instead of that, decides to come and to leave all of his deity in heaven and say, I'm going to be perfect. I'm going to do the things that I commanded you guys to do perfectly. And it still take that punishment. And that's the only way that justice could be satisfied.
Okay. I get the story. I still don't understand the mechanism of how it works. I understand that I understand the mechanism. I understand the story. I just don't get how
You know what?
how
You know
it
who
works. You know
you'd
what I
love?
mean? Yeah, go ahead. You know what
You'd
I mean? Like
love.
I wipe my butt and then I look at the toilet paper and there's poop on it, and I understand that mechanism. I push the toilet paper against my butt. I understand that God came, like, you know what I mean? The physical reality. It makes sense to me. And I get that what you're saying, that he came for that, but I don't get how it absolves us.
It only absolves you if you actually trust in it. If you actually put your faith, that's why it says, like, when Jesus came, he said, whoever abides in me has life. So whoever, and that's why the symbol of his flesh and his blood in the communion is so important, because you are taking him and his sacrifice and you're putting all of your identity into that. So and so it's not just simply following some vague moral teaching. It's actually trusting in that sacrifice to be enough to satisfy the demand for justice, and that reunites you with
That's the
God.
part. I don't understand how his sacrifice would cause the poop to get on the toilet paper. I don't understand how his sacrifice. I don't
Because it's
understand
either
the
his or
mechanism
yours.
for how it works. I don't understand the mechanism for how that works.
It's
Say it
either
again.
his or yours. It's either his sacrifice or yours. Either you sacrifice and you pay the punishment, which is eternal death, basically, for what the sin that it is that you've committed in your life that only you can know about and only he can know about, or you trust in him. Those are the options.
All right.
You could trust in your own goodness and morality, just like the Pharisees were, that Jesus was constantly admonishing in the New Testament. Or it's you that says, all right, I know I'm never going to be good enough, and therefore the only one who was good enough already did that punishment for me. And so the demand for justice is satisfied, and I can just trust in that. But you know who you'd really like? Have you heard of Wes Huff? He was just on Rogan because he debated a guy named Billy Carson. Did you hear about that whole debate?
No.
Oh, it's great. So Wes Huff is an apologist, and he goes back into all of the theology and where we can find proof for these claims and how that, like you're talking about, the mechanism works. Because there's a guy named Billy Carson who has a big following. Billy Carson was having all kinds of outlandish claims that Christianity is no different than other religions, and the Sinai Bible is proof of all kinds of conspiracies. And he basically just shuts them down, and that's why Joe Rogan invited him on, because they got so viral. But you should look it up.
Do you and I DM?
No.
Oh, all right.
Sorry. We could start.
Is it on Joe Rogan? I just want to make sure I find this. What do I find on YouTube?
I could DM it to you, but it's Joe Rogan, just Wes Huff, WESHUFF, on Joe Rogan.
Okay.
But the debate is with Billy Carson, and that's the one that,
Okay.
just the most thorough thumping of a so-called scholar I've ever seen.
I don't think I need, like, I'm not a kind of person, like, I don't need proof. Like, a lot of people will, like, try to prove that Jesus was here or wasn't here by, like, historical facts and all that shit. All that shit bores me for some reason. Like, I don't care. I don't need convincing that he was here. Do you know what I mean?
But maybe that mechanism you're talking about, which is the theological term is penal substitutionary atonement. That's what you're talking about, that he can defend really well, insofar as there's a lot of really nice, like,
And you know I want to
But
get it
the-
so bad. I hope it doesn't come across like I'm trying to fight it. I'm just trying to fucking grasp it.
Well, that's the only reason why I called to try to explain. Because I feel like there's an honesty in both of your like I want to understand it, and the Chosen's okay in that, but it goes a lot deeper, and it's actually a beautiful picture that that's why it's changing lives, and that's why people, when they become Christians, it really does actually change who they are, because they understand a whole different beauty of the world that wasn't there before.
Right.
And that's what Wes Huff is much better at explaining than I am, but he's one of many. And Billy Carson's one of those guys, just like, a lot of skeptics that are like, there's so many conspiracies that you can buy into that seem plausible. But if you really look at it, it's really cool how the truth backs it up. The truth's on the side of the Christians in this case.
All right.
Anyway, thanks for letting me rant.
Yeah, thank you. You were amazing. Thank you. Kyle Hammers. Is that really your last name? Holy cow. Oh my God. Mr. Hammers. Hey, send me a photo of Mrs. Hammers. Someone's like a police officer that pulls you over for speeding and gives you a ticket because you broke the law. However, he decides to pay the fine on your behalf. God, some of these fuckers really know me. Embarrassing. I think I do have a little cuck in me.
It's compassion, not cuck.
Right.
Not like you gave a speeding ticket. He's like, "Hey, could I bang your wife?" And you were like, "Sure, come on in."
Oh yeah, you're right. I don't have any of that.
You're just like, he's down his luck.
Whew, you saved me.
Okay, good.
I really enjoyed that guy. Be honest with me. Does that conversation bore you? Are you like
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Well, why does it bore you?
I don't know. I just can't.
You're not
I can't.
trying to make connections in your head, or the whole time you just disproving them.
It's just, I don't know. I guess I'm indifferent to it. Like, and I don't mean that negatively. I think just
take that way.
I don't know. It's hard for me just to look. It seems a little semantic, doesn't it? Like if you choose to believe it, because look, I don't know much about religion, but I know that the golden rule here, and for me, outside of that, it's like if I just treat everybody how I want to be treated, I act as a leader, and by a leader, I mean a servant to others and those around me, and a contributor. Then,
but how do you think that
what
works?
more do I need to know? We're going to talk
just
about the robe color he wore and how it did it in this person's interpretation or that person's interpretation. Just act like a just human being. Don't argue who a good man is. Just be one.
I'm with you on all that, but don't. I mean, so here, there's two ways to look at this. Maybe there's more, but let me propose this to you. I feel like they're saying 2 + 2 is 5, or let me even go the other way. I believe I'm saying 2 + 2 is 5, and they're saying 2 + 2 is 4. Right? Pick. It can be either side. I don't mean to belittle anyone in this metaphor. Aren't you a little curious how they got to that? Like, I'm trying to figure out how they got to that. Like, I see all the shit that I agree with, what you're saying. Like, aren't you curious why that mechanism works? That if you treat people the way you want to be treated, that life works out good?
Yeah, because the difference that we have between us and chimpanzees is the ability to have empathy and compassion and cooperation at a mass number. And so if we exploit that in a positive way, we accomplish incredible things.
Right.
If we exploit it in a negative way, we become self-destructive.
And then you hear about people going out of their way to put a baby in the oven and cook it in front of the parents, and you're like, so even if you hated someone that much, you still have to be some sort of monster to even be able to watch it yourself. I'd never thought of that until you proposed that today. I'd never even thought of holy shit, no matter how much I hated someone, I couldn't do that because I couldn't watch that. Even if you killed my whole family, I couldn't do that to your family because I couldn't. I mean, I could push them off a fucking cliff and run the other direction.
Yeah, I mean,
I couldn't do. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and like I said yesterday, I don't know where I heard this from. I mean, I may not even have. Maybe I just made it up, but it was babies and children, small children, small babies and stuff are proof of God's innocence.
Yeah.
And to me, that seems to ring true because you have this unprogrammed human being, and it could be capable of wonderful, fantastic things, or it can be capable of evil. But right now, at its current
Crazy
state,
wrath.
it's completely innocent. And it depends on what's impressed upon it from that point forward that determines its actions.
Magnus Holmgren for the Spicy Margarita Fund to be used on Valentine's Day. Is today Valentine's Day?
It is. That's why you wore your red shirt.
Oh, symbolism.
Mm-hmm.
Kanye ain't got shit on me. No, Mr. Lamar, the race baiter, Lamar. Hey, I had this when I saw Kendrick's performance, and then I read the analysis of it. I thought, holy shit, he is the spokesperson for all liberal white women, like that archetype. Like he's pushing he's like the king of Karens. He's the ultimate Karen. And Valentine's Day spicy margaritas. Damn, I was gonna connect that to something too. But it's fascinating to me. How the fuck did they pick that? How does that guy not know that? Like, hey, dude, you're a race baiter. You're a fat white woman in Berkeley.
Yeah, because the fruit of that labor has given him everything he's gotten right now in his recent stardom. So why would we deny that? You know?
Yeah. Are there two types of comics now? Are there the comics that perform on that like Theo Vaughn and Shane Gillis and Joe Rogan versus the ones that go on Jimmy Kimmel? Like, are there two camps now like that? Like, are there comics that go back and forth?
No, I don't think so. I think you're right. I never thought about it till then, but yeah, you're right. There's like the cohort that would like go on Rogan or like one comic removed away from Rogan, and then there's like the cable TV ones.
Right. Like Jeff Died. You know who that is? I think that's his name.
Yeah, that definitely sounds familiar.
So like he's like he like you wouldn't see him probably on Jimmy Kimmel.
Right.
Find him.
Right.
Yeah, this dude. I bet you this dude's a handful in person. This guy.
It was called The Wedding Year. I played Anna Camp's husband. So I'm on set for, 30 seconds, right? That's how big my role was. But in the time that I had to be on set, Sarah Hyland was the lead.
Do you know who that is? Sarah Hyland?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, from Modern Family.
Oh, okay.
That's it's like a real... Yeah, it was a real popular show. She's probably like the Topanga of younger generation.
What's a Topanga?
From Boy Meets World. So it would have been your Marsha Brady.
Oh yeah, Marsha. Yeah. Okay.
Or maybe that would have been a little too.
No, Marsha was the shit.
Who was the Wonder Years?
I wanted Marsha.
Wendy.
Elizabeth Shue, Marsha Brady.
You'd have been a
Marsha
Wendy.
Brady. No, Marsha Brady. I would have loved it if she'd have been my babysitter. That'd have been awesome. Okay, here we go.
Lead from Modern Family.
Yeah. Is that the girl with the big eyes?
Yeah, she's like a pretty woman.
Yeah.
Chain smokes and is terrible. She was such a tyrant, rude to everyone. At one point, she said this: David, who's the director, there's extras eating at the craft service table. Like, she was annoyed that some extra.
So she had gone from appreciation to entitlement.
Yeah, she sure did. Probably made her hotter. Get those peasants off my table.
Wanted free granola bars, like it was in her kitchen or something. She hated me, by the way, like just hated me. At one point she said, and this is also a quote, "You're what is wrong with people."
Oh,
because I'm an actual man, you know. She's not used to she's not used to ever, like, you know, masculine energy of any sort. She tried to show everyone like the new Dumbo trailer had just dropped.
Listen to this part, and I'm going to ask you whether you think this story is true. Because if this story is true, this guy is a fucking G.
All like in this hierarchy of Hollywood where it's like she's number one on the call sheet. We have to like pander to her. She wanted to show them the Dumbo trailer on a phone, right? We're all like around, you know, oh, she's showing us something on her phone. She starts crying to like let us know how moved she is by the Dumbo trailer. I just said, I didn't even mean it. I just wanted to ruin the moment. I go, yeah, that looks gay. She literally, if she could like have me removed from like a moment or anything, like I ruined her little showpiece of like, look how much I'm into the arts that I'm moved by Dumbo, and I just wanted to ruin it. And I did. I ruined it, and she hated me, and I, you know, whatever. I was off the set the next day. I did a movie
That's so good.
He's fucking Taylor Self.
That's so
I mean, he's not
good.
fucking Taylor Self, but he is Taylor Self.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's hilarious.
You think that's true? You think he said that on a Hollywood set? He said that's gay?
It seems like he would. Yeah, I want to believe the story, so therefore it is true.
Oh, that's the theme of this show.
No.
What's this? This guy says, I can confirm this is true.
Oh, look at Olivia's take.
And then they hooked up. Yeah. That's a great picture of you, Olivia. Wow, you look beautiful. Yeah. Wow. I thought that too. He fucked her hard. Like they fucked crazy hard after
Yeah,
that.
chicks like that need a little order. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. So this guy can confirm it's true. A bit punk, a bit butch, a bit princess. All right.
I think he just wrote that, right? Oh no, he's on a Grammy thing. Okay,
All right.
maybe he was there.
Anyway, this guy doesn't go on. Oh yeah, look, he goes on Gutfeld. He doesn't go on Kimmel.
Yeah, and there he is with what is that? Tom? No, who's the guy? Bert Kreischer down there.
Yeah.
That's like the Rogan cohort.
Hey, how come Fox always calls they always make fun of legacy media? Aren't they legacy media? I always trip on that whenever they make fun of media. I'm like, wait a second.
It's an identity crisis, dude.
What do you mean?
They're over there being like, oh, look at those guys. Damn, their shit's tanking. Legacy media sucks. And nobody wants to be like, wait, you're legacy media.
Podcasts are so dead.
They're like, no, we cut clips on YouTube.
Wow. So they are still just big media, Fox, legacy media.
Mm-hmm. I mean, big things like that take a long time to die.
Well, they're killing, man. I mean, I don't know if you watch any Fox, but like
No.
Jesse Waters up every night is fucking crazy, dude. It's worth watching. It's good. It's on YouTube. I watch them on YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't watch the Gutfield comedy show. I don't watch any of the ones where it's like a group of people sitting around a table. They got the Democrat on Fox. This guy Harold something. He's really good. I like listening to him. They got do you know who Scott Jennings is on CNN?
No, I don't think so, but the name sounds familiar, so maybe I do.
He's the Republican on CNN.
CNN.
Oh, dude, he's fucking so good. I want to show you this funny thing if I can find it. I think I saved it. They had a lady on yesterday who's she's complaining that she always got paid less than everyone else because she's black.
Mm-hmm. That's the reason, right?
And then they show where she worked, and she's only worked for the Biden administration, the Obama administration, Kamala's campaign, and CNN.
Yeah,
I can find it.
Amazing.
Hey, look at this dumb shit. I can't find the clip right now, but look at this dumb shit. Thousands of Danes signed petition to buy California from the United States. So I looked up the GDP of Denmark. 400 billion. I looked up the GDP of California. 4 trillion.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, dude, you guys better stop fucking around. Because everyone in California will put their fucking spare change into a jar and will buy fucking Greenland. You fucking retards. It's fake, you dummy. It's fake.
What's fake?
It's fake. He's saying that there was no petition. Hey, I know you're gonna find this really hard to fucking believe, David. But for stories like that, it doesn't matter. Just so you know, it's not fake. But for stories like that, it doesn't matter. You understand that doesn't matter, right?
Petition calling for Denmark to buy. So funny.
I understand how it could still be fake because we know all these assholes work together.
Yeah, for sure.
In joke petition. It's a joke petition. It's a joke petition. USA Today.
A joke
Denmark would
petition.
buy California from Trump in joke petition. 100% real in our dreams. It's a joke. It doesn't matter, David. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It does. I was talking with Pat Lang about this too. For some reason, I think to Pat it matters that there was $50 million in condoms being sold to Gaza, or that it was actually Gaza, Mozambique, the city of Gaza in the country of Mozambique. That there was some confusion there, and people are like, "Well, he lied." Well, like it doesn't matter. First of all, it's a totally honest mistake. It was Gaza, Mozambique. But second of all,
Okay.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, isn't it just about the absolute waste of the American tax dollar that money is being allocated to things that, first off, you can't even trace if it was successful or not successful, and secondly, it did absolutely nothing to help the American people. So the only delineation that there should be is, did this help the American people whose money we spent, or did it leave the country and go into the hands of the unknown? Who gives a fuck what the name of the place is? You've completely lost it. And the fact that you defend the allocation of tax dollars leaving the US to help anybody else besides us when we have so much that we need to take care of here is absolutely insane.
That could be making 150 people in North Carolina whole again, as Greg says.
Exactly. It's
no, my take is 50 million was not going to condoms, it was going to hospitals, weapons, and contraceptives. Well, yeah.
either way.
Yeah,
I don't
I
even
hear,
give a
okay, I
fuck
hear you.
about
But,
that.
yeah, either way, but that doesn't matter either. But good point. Hey, yeah. The truth is, Pat, I agree with you on this. $10 went to condoms, and $49,990,990 went to fucking someone's pocket. Was stolen.
I don't know, man. We there's so much stuff here that needs to be handled that it doesn't matter the amount. Should not be done until your house is fucking in order. Don't go try to fix somebody else's.
Oh wow. So this is a lot to unpack here. I don't need condoms, I have a foreskin. I'm not sure I understand that. Is there something you know about how to use a foreskin that I don't know? Do you tie a knot in yours when you that really, you need to text me on the side, explain that. I also have 87 kids and 12 STIs. Listen. Jake, I'm from a generation where we call them STDs. Sexually transmitted disease. Is that one of the woke things? They change it to I because it's an infection, not a disease.
I think it's a Euro thing.
Oh.
I think it's a Euro thing.
Dear women, if you really fucking hate fucking your boyfriend while he's sleeping at night, super glue his foreskin shut.
Oh my gosh. I'm watching too many of those Hamas videos, dude.
Oh my god. That would be fucking nuts, dude. Do not do that. I repeat.
I did find a couple things on the interweb here because I was thinking about when I was going to come on the show last night. I was like, man, it's so nice because I don't have to do anything. And then I felt bad because I was like, maybe I should contribute. So in honor,
you're doing great. I love it. You got the Frony Farm shirt on, plugging our boy. Yeah, I love it. You're great.
It's a nice little coat, and I'm try to get on next week. But I got this clip here. For some reason, I want to say that you probably have already shown it, but this was in honor of Valentine's Day. Do you mind if I play it real quick?
Oh, please, that'd be great.
Okay, so just so that way we're all festive here, right?
I would never know it was Valentine's Day if I didn't have a podcast. I think we could solve. I already feel the music. I haven't seen it.
Why isn't it playing with the? Okay, good. I'm sorry. I don't know why this is such a hassle for me right now.
Ah, it's good. We're good. Sexually pleasing. I already like
solve so many worldly issues if more people just got on their knees. Because hear me out. I went down on my husband like he was a lollipop for the first year of our relationship, just non-stop, all the time. 2 years later, we're engaged. 2.5 years later, we're married, closing on a house. 3 years later, I just up and adopted up. Just buy our second dog. No conversation, no context. I just do it. He's not even mad about it. I have the good health insurance. The good health insurance. I can go to chiropractor, it costs me nothing. I'm just saying, going down on him, her, everyone could solve your lifely problems. It could make everyone happy. There could be no war if men were just routinely getting sucked up. He could be happier. My husband has advanced his career providing more for our family because I routinely get down on my knees and empower him by degrading myself. So hear me out. Just get on your knees. And a year from now, you can be engaged. Just think about it as a long-term investment.
Wow. Can I see her whole? Is that her whole account? No.
No, it was just like
Wow, that's amazing. Hey, there was one part. I don't mean to get hung up. Maybe, but she said suck up.
oh, yeah,
I think it's
suck off.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, I wanted to make sure. I didn't want to. Okay, it's suck off. Okay, but I mean, it was interesting. Yeah. Wow. You think that was AI or that's a real? You think she really means that?
I don't know. I think it's hilarious though, especially when she starts like, "We could solve all the world's problems if you could just get down on your knees," because you think it's gonna go like religious.
That's kind of religious.
Yeah, depends on what you worship, huh?
What is it? What is the deal? Are you allowed to blow your husband? Does the Bible
hope
have a?
There's no way it says not to.
All right, hold on. I gotta just do one thing to pay the bills.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the announcement of the open workout.
Now here comes Haley Adams. The force is strong with Haley Adams. Here comes Austin Hatfield, and Austin Hatfield picks up his first semifinals event win. He is locking down the top spot. Roman Krennikov is reigning right now.
I'm your host, Rory McKernan.
Oh, baby!
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Chase Ingram.
It's going to be close.
Yay! You want to do some? Let's do some more gossipy shit.
Okay.
How are you on time?
I'm good. I just have a meeting at 9:30.
Oh, new sponsor.
Yeah.
Exciting one.
Yeah.
2 or 3 new sponsors coming down the pipe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hopefully all of them lock in.
Yeah, cool ones that like we get behind.
Yeah.
Like we feel them. I fucking hate. I sometimes hate how fucking cool Rich is. Hey, that was weird. Rich texted us the other day and goes, "Are we still cool?" Did I
He
say something?
texted. I don't think. Did he say it in the group with us?
Yeah, and then I said, "Hey, let's get Rich scheduled."
Oh, I didn't even see him. I just saw you.
Yeah, he. Like, did I say he had a small dick or something on the show?
Oh yeah.
I've been diddling his buddy Vandersloot, but it's been fun and games. I always diddle Vandersloot, the media guy.
Yeah. But Scott's cool.
Scotty. Yeah,
Scott's
Scotty's cool. He can
The
take
whole
it.
team. Yeah. Come on, our whole team's awesome.
Try to get between me and Rich. Someone. I hope he was just saying like, "Hey, I'm ready to come on the show" or something.
Yeah, but
That's how I took it. That's how I took it.
Yeah.
But the insecure part of me was like, "Oh, did it get back to him? Did I ass pound Rich or something on accident?"
You think it's because we have like all his boys coming on in like 1 week?
Oh, like Lockhart and Dommy.
Yeah.
Dude, we should do Mayhem Week on the.
Did you see? I tried to set that up. Did you see the dates I offered Rich?
No.
Oh, dude,
you did? That
yeah.
was crazy, dude.
That's what I'm trying. I want to do it because it'd be like Monday
Bible
would
week
be Jake,
with Mayhem.
Tuesday Dom, Wednesday Greg, Thursday Rich. Fuck, let's get Rory. Friday Rory. Let's go.
Rory's never been on the show, right?
No, he hasn't.
Rory and I have a weird energy between us. It's weird. Like we're just such different creatures. It's always interesting. It's like I feel like I'm dancing when I'm with Rory.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Okay. It's just crazy. It's like he doesn't even try. And he's still the fucking coolest dude on the planet. It fucking drives me. I don't know how he does it. It usually doesn't bug me, but this time I was just like, what the fuck? How is he still so fucking cool? Oh, look. Okay, here we go.
There's never actually been an open announcement, like a true one at Mayhem.
Mayhem, no, it's the first.
So that's exciting. Austin Hatfield, Roman Krennikov, Haley Adams,
Rory's voice is beautiful.
Oh yeah, it's the best, isn't it?
Yeah.
and then
An unknown guest.
an unknown guest.
Unknown guest. I don't know who that guest is.
Who that gonna be,
I don't
man?
know who it's gonna be.
Okay.
I bet that guest is on like a day by day basis.
That guest is waiting to see if there's pistols in the workout.
No, it's not even waiting to see if what the workout is. It's waiting to see
The body.
what the guest's body
you feel
feels
up?
like. You know,
How does Rich know so much?
It's so good.
And like, I care so much. He's the why? Like, I would love to see. Well, I don't even know why I would like to see Rich do the Open. I don't even care if he does good or bad. I just want to see him like with his shirt off, moving around.
Mm-hmm.
You need a button that just says "gay." Gay.
the day or two before.
Wake up and have a good knee day.
Yeah. Shoulder day or back day
Yeah.
or hip day.
Hopefully all of the
Neck
above.
day.
Man, there's a dose of reality.
Mm-hmm.
But it will be cool. I think it'd be really cool for our members. We're gonna open up the doors, let people come. Right,
come for free.
There's never actually been an open announcement, like a true one.
Damn.
Yeah, that's cool.
He's so fucking cool. There was another crazy. They kind of ass pound. Is there a mayhem? I should follow that. Is there a mayhem podcast Instagram? I saw another clip in my feed.
Yeah, there is.
Mayhem podcast. The Mayhem podcast. No. Let me see.
Funny. That's
You know which one I'm talking? You know which one I'm talking about? It's where they talk about the CrossFit Mayhem performance coaching, Mayhem Classic, Where's the clip?
I'm trying to find it out here. Official podcast of Rich Froning. The Froning podcast. Here we go.
Yeah. Oh, you see it? Okay, yeah. Will you pull that up?
Yeah.
And they're talking about the WTF. Let's try. Oh yeah, let's have been here, and CrossFit. Yeah, the most recent one. Let's see that one.
Countries and been here. And CrossFit community is okay. Like we're good. Just keep doing what you're doing, being who you are, because it really is. And as lame and cliche as it sounds, the community is what it's about, and it's still alive and well. And Coaches Congress, it was really cool. You just don't know what to expect. You're
It's an
like,
impressive event, right?
They're awesome. Blah blah blah. It's awesome. I promise you'll get something out of it. And
Who owns Coaches
really
Congress? What the fuck is that?
What's that?
What's Coaches Congress?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Close this one. It's not this one. Testing blood, leaning towards NFL, Barcelona. I screwed up. CrossFit Games, April. There was one that I saw where they were talking about the WTF, and he's like, I don't know what happens. Like, what are they going to do? They're going to start having affiliates?
Yeah, let me. Was that? Let me see.
I don't care. Search around. Do you think it was that one we were watching?
No, I don't. I think.
You want to apologize to anybody?
I screwed up. All right. Well, we're starting in Barcelona.
Ah.
And
I don't know. Maybe
Shit. Let me see that.
Which one?
Does our podcast Instagram have more followers than their podcast Instagram?
Yeah, it sure does.
Fucking A, boss.
Damn.
Boss.
Wow, look at us. I don't know, man. I don't think it's in any of these clips.
So I've seen
I would move to Cookville to be friends with Angelo and Rich.
Maybe that's where we should put the compound.
In Cookville?
Yeah. And then I could like ride a quad to his barn at his house with a backwards hat. God, it'd be so.
Guns. Okay. I'm going to show you something. You want to do a little business?
Yeah, sure. I'm
Little
still
part.
like, now I'm kind of like fixated on trying to find that clip though. So
Okay. While you do that, if you can, feel free. If you can multitask. If you don't hear me, just ask what you say. So I'm going over to Kickstarter, and I want to start a Kickstarter campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first I'm going to pitch this show. I was thinking about pitching this show idea to Jenna Haka. I was going to call CrossFit today.
Okay. I like that.
And I'm thinking about pitching this show to like a few people really quick off the bat. Jenna Haka, to CrossFit, to Born Primitive, to Bear Hanlon, and to Bill and Katie.
Good
the
stack.
Rogue owners, right? And I think they're all going to say no. Because for various reasons. But the show it's going to be a first responders. It's Kill Taylor first responders.
Okay.
It's every single week, and we're going to give away $1,000. You and I have talked about this, and we're going to give away the $1,000 and every week, and you have to be either a firefighter, a police officer, or active military. No, like pussies, no, like ambulance drivers and shit like that, or doctors, or you know what I mean? You have to be a cop, firefighter, or mill guy.
Okay.
And the show is going to be fucking wild. It's going to be like Kill Taylor, but fucking crazier, right? Because we're just going to have all these fucking jarheads and meatheads. And it's going to be more inclusive. Kill Taylor is not inclusive, meaning like we do not want women. We don't want anyone to win. We especially don't want women to win. This one's going to be scaled like a motherfucker perfectly for men and women. And every week we're going to give $1,000, and then we'll give the winner an opportunity to come back. They don't have to come back, but they'll automatically get like a text saying, hey, if you want to come in this week and try this one, you can. And then it'll just be, the gang, Pedro White, Coffee Pods and Wads, me, you, Tyler Watkins, Hiller, Caleb, and we'll just be ass pounding fuckers.
Yeah, I think it's great.
And it's part of the Maha movement, Make America Healthy Again. It's part of speaking to the base of CrossFit, which is the reason why CrossFit speaks to the base should speak to the base is because it's the greatest GPP, general physical preparedness program in the world. And if your life depends on your ability to do things like jump over a fence or empty a truck quickly or that, this is the program for you. So we're speaking to our base. Oh, Sevan, on your story.
I know. I found it. I got it queued up for us. I was letting you finish.
Thank you, Colt.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
So the show's going to be massive. You know what's going to happen is it's going to become bigger than Kill Taylor. And then what's going to happen is the people who watch the Mill show are then going to see that, oh, the bald fucking crazy dude also has his own show where you can try to beat him, and there'll be this fucking crazy synergy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be ass pounding those jarheads and cops and firefighters too, taking the piss out of them, right? But it'll really just be a glorification and a celebration of our people who let us like walk across the street with our kids safely, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to propose it to them. It's a cheap show. We'll cover all the overhead. We just need someone to do the prize money. They'll get their name up there, and that's it. We'll take care of everything else. It's fucking, no one's going to be making any money on it. It's just an elevation for everyone, right? We'll leverage it for the popularity of the channel, and they'll get to support it. So, but when that doesn't work, when those three people turn me down, I was thinking about going over to Kickstarter and starting this is like a website. Let me see. I think I saw, what did I see? Kickstarter has raised am I reading this right? $8,552,319,655 to fund 273,304 projects.
Yeah, that's nuts.
There's been 100 million pledges.
Wow. That's kind of crazy, huh?
Yeah. And so if you go here, but here's the problem. So you go to film, right?
Yep.
And then you go on Earth, and then you go sort by most funded. And this is just it's the weirdest shit that people put up here. Like there's no normal shit.
Yeah, it's all like super artsy type films.
Yeah, like just weird shit. So like, let's look at this one. This is like the one that's killing it the most, right? The most funded. And let me see. Let's see how much it's raised.
Like 88.
It's raised $11 million with 88,000 backers. It's some sort of cartoon.
What the fuck?
Wow, it says last updated September 14th, 2022.
Weird. It's just a money laundering scheme.
Look, here's another one.
Oh shit, we just got a text. Uh-oh. I didn't read it yet, but
Oh yeah. Yeah, boy.
oh, perfect.
Bible week with Mayhem. Hey, I'm predicting Rich is going to run for office.
Locally, for sure.
Grow locally, affect.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
He's already got his own street. Kidding me?
This one's got $1 million. Anyway, what do you think? Do you think you think we could do it on Kickstarter? What would we do? We would need to make a trailer, and then what would we do? Just ask everyone in the chat to text us and put it in there. We'd have to get everyone to help us, like all the listeners to like text this phone. I have to send them the video. They'd have to post in their Instagram with a link to Kickstarter. Everyone put it in their story. And what do we need? We need just like to do it a whole year, just like 60 grand.
Yeah,
It's 52 weeks at $1,000 a week with like a little bit of contingent.
Well, what if we broke it into parts? What if we were like, hey, we want to do a month-long pilot on this. We need $4 grand. If we get this funded, we'll do the pilot, then we'll take this show, and then we could use it to shop it afterwards to try to get it going for the rest of the year. So we could do something like that, just like a proof of concept, and we just need $4,000 to do the first 4 weeks. And then we, hype it up, blow it up, do those first 4 shows. And then once we have it, we could try to expand it.
Excuse me 1 second. Sevi about to pivot back to Bible talk to pretend he doesn't know about Vellner.
What's up with
Mr. Garrity? I have to piss and shit. My fucking back hurts. I'm trying to take over the world with fucking the Sevon podcast in discussing higher level shit with Matt Souza. And I'm fucking got a fucking half chub because Rich Froning just texted me. I have no fucking idea what the fuck you're talking about. Thank you. Thank you for understanding. I've like both of my holes want to fucking vacate. Well, yeah. What about Vellner? Hey.
Yeah.
Now that's a good profile picture. Here I am.
Yeah, almost like surprised looking. Oh, and Captain Rogers, great photo too.
Except that's not him.
Still, great choice of photo. Fucking boo-hoo. Son of a
Hey, hey, Cole, you should redo that picture and pull the bar up higher, so it's like that famous video on Instagram that went around where the pole vaulter his cock and balls got caught on.
Yeah,
you should redo that, dude.
Yeah, dude,
and have it tugging on your junk, dude, so we can see your shit. David's laughing at something Pat said, so now I'm gonna click. That gets my attention, so now I'm gonna click on what Pat wrote. Dude, only you care about Froning. He's older than Jesus.
CrossFit years.
Oh, shit. I'll pull up Pat's IG post. Okay, I will. Let me. Are you good for time still?
Yeah, I mean, 9:15. I want to jump off so I could, maybe eat a little something and organize my thoughts before I jump into that meeting. So
your meeting's at 9:30?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go another 12 minutes. Let me play this film that my boy made with that action camera. This is really cool. He edited it and everything, and a little short film. And I'm going to try to run and piss and shit, even though I think when I get in this chair, I'm going to be stuck. I don't even know if I can stand right now.
Double feature.
Okay. I'm going to play this and then we'll come back and we'll find out what you guys are clamoring about regarding Pat. Hey, by the way, I just want to say this too. All these people who are saying I'm out, I thought fucking Chandler and Annie and these people retired.
That's exactly that's the point I was going to make.
I didn't even know, like,
it's easy to be out.
Like, I thought Amanda Barnhart was like gone. Like, yeah, what's going on? Like, you guys, you can't be out if you're retired. Okay. We'll be back.
That means it's ready.
Mm-hmm.
When you hear that sound?
Yeah, it deepens. Darda is the name of a German toy car racing set and related items which was most popular in Europe and the USA throughout the 1980s and 90s. The set is the special Darda motor invented by Helmut Darda. The cars can be run on any surface but are designed to be run on special Darda tracks, which can be bought as sets or individual track pieces and can be combined into quite elaborate creations, including multi-level loops and Y-shaped return curves.
Definitely thought that was a little bit longer. How long has it just been sitting up here for? All right, should we find we'll queue up Vellner's post. We did find the clip of Froning too, so we got that. We'll play that as well. Pat Vellner.
Crazy how much I still shit, even though like I took all those Advils. It doesn't. I have to got.
I can't even believe you just did that right now.
Yeah, so that I basically just assigned a project for my son, learn Final Cut Pro, and I had him read the wiki page for those cars, and we got another short film coming too. I think this one's gonna be. You know what's crazy? So I'm gonna tell you just a really quick story before we do the Vellner thing. Did I interrupt something you were saying?
No, I was just bantering about it, queuing it up and getting it ready.
So there was my son's like, why are we doing these videos? Are we making money off of them? And I'm like, I don't know. We're just doing it just to learn Final Cut Pro. He's like, why are we learning Final Cut Pro? I'm like, I don't know. It just seems like something would be cool to learn how to shoot video and edit video. It's something that I'm a fucking master at. So you might as well, I could teach you. He's like, okay. So he's loving it. I got him a computer, a little hard drive, Final Cut Pro cameras. He's been doing it for a few months now. He edited that together. We watched a bunch of videos on how to use Final Cut Pro. I sit down with him and kind of brush up on my skills. So we put all that together. He learned how to mix the audio. He learned how to put in the B-roll and the slow-mos and the slow zooms. And he's just learning. He's 10 years old and he's learning how to do it. And so the other day, there was a product online that I saw that I purchased. And I purchased this product and it came to my house. And I was thinking to myself, I'm going to have my kid go to the website of this product, this item, and I'm going to have them read everything that's on the website, like why they made this product, the history of it, who the founders are. And then I'm going to pull this product out and I'm going to have my kids all do a taste test on it. They're going to taste it and then give their fucking live opinion on it. And then we'll edit that all together and we'll make it. And it'll be like a review for this product. Well, 2 days fucking later, this is yesterday, the people who I bought this product from emailed me and they said, hey, Sevon, we've refunded your purchase of that product and we're huge fans of the show. Can we sponsor Kill Taylor? Now, they don't know I'm going to make this video. But that's like the story of my life. And that's like the kind of shit like I can't like explain to my kids. Like I'm never like, I'm just doing the what I want to do. And the piece is just kind of like the order, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Yeah. Don't talk about it too loud. People might realize they have way more control over their destiny than they think.
So we're just gonna do this, and then we're gonna surprise if my kids hate the product, I'm not gonna release it. You know what I mean? Yeah. If they hate
How is that? That sucked.
Yeah, I still want these people's money to for sponsorship. But if they love it, what a fucking great gift for for them.
Yeah.
Like they don't even know what that I mean, that'll be insane. They're gonna be like, holy fuck, this is the greatest marketing tool ever. All right. So what's
Great
Mr.
idea.
Vellner doing?
Oh, well, buckle in. His post is about us.
I just want to say this before I start this. I'm gonna try to behave like I think Jesus would want me to behave.
I respect that.
Okay, thank you.
Settle in. We're basically going to be reading
is it another book
I have behind me?
Is it a book?
It's like this.
Jesus. Oh Jesus. Should I, here, I'll pull it up.
Okay. And then do we want to do the Froning clip afterwards? I do have that queued.
Okay, yeah, we'll do the Froning clip. Is this it?
That's it.
It's a picture of Pat Vellner, and he's sitting down, looking solemn. With a very shallow depth of field. It's a really nice shot. Of course, there's photographer doesn't get any credit. I've decided not to compete in the 2025 CrossFit Games season. Sometimes the best way to push for change is to take action. And this year I'm taking a stand by voting with my feet. Swipe the carousel for more info. Good luck to everyone participating. Okay, so he's not participating because he wants change. Okay. I would like to say that sports is a very interesting. Sports are like movies. It's really just what you've done for me lately. So you could have someone like Josh Hartnett, who is like the biggest star in the world for like a week when Titanic came out, and then you vanish into obscurity. Or even more, what have you done for me lately? So I think if he wants a voice, I'm already like thinking that maybe that's a bad. I mean, there's exceptions like Froning or maybe Tom Brady, but like I'm thinking it's a very risky move for kind of a little bit of an obscure. I would say he was more of a supporting character than a superstar, or like he was flirting with like the two within our space.
Yeah. Bridesmaid, never the bride, huh?
Yeah, I've decided not. Thank you. I've decided not to compete in the 2025 CrossFit Games season. Sometimes the best way to push for change is to take action. This year, I'm taking a stand by voting with my feet. I'm not sure what that means. For years, I've committed an enormous amount of energy and passion to the CrossFit Games season, but it has become increasingly difficult to justify that commitment. Okay, that's a personal decision. There's no right or wrong there. That's him. That's on him. I respect Patty.
Yeah.
I can't continue to pour my heart into an organization that doesn't seem to be working to support those of us who compete in it.
Pause. I think that's that's the line. There it is. It just crossed it. I can't continue to pour my heart into an organization. You're not a fucking employee, dude. You chose to compete and you're pouring your heart into your competitive career. The platform on which you're doing it on is the CrossFit Games. That's like us saying we no longer support YouTube. So we're whatever, we're out. It's like, okay, well, you didn't pour your heart and soul into making YouTube. You made your content and it lived on YouTube's platform.
Right.
You can't pour your heart and soul into the organization. You poured your heart and soul into advancing your own career as an athlete. Nothing wrong with that. But that's where you just saw it. That's the conflation. It just happened.
When I spoke to Jake Chapman, we had a very serious talk, and it's a talk that I've had with everyone who's in my little Sevon podcast universe. And it's like, hey, I am not going to give you shit. You have to leverage the platform. And I just you only get what's here. So like you come in my kitchen, there might not be any food here, but I have utensils and a chair, and like you leverage it. You bring your own milk and cereal, and you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, and even more so.
And if you're ever going to cross over from appreciation to anticipation, expectation, entitlement, or dependency, like it's not going to work. We're like, it's not going to work. And Jake's like, dude, I love it. Brilliant. And I've had I've had that talk with everyone.
Yeah.
And we've lost people who start to go into the expectation realm, right?
Hey, some people just want to be employees. They want to just be taken care of.
Yeah.
I poured my heart and soul to an organization and they should have taken care of me.
Right. Yeah.
What? No, take care of yourself, man.
Yeah. And I treat myself like that too. I live by the same rules that everyone else lives in the Sevon podcast. We're here we're just building a really nice kitchen. Show up, use it however you want, leave it cleaner than when you were here, and then the next guy can come in and use it. That's it. That's all it is. And so I saw Chandler. The reason why I bring this up is that's what Chandler was saying too. They expected something from CrossFit. It's like, hey, dude, you're supposed to leverage the games, dude.
And by the way, they did leverage the games.
Yeah, exactly. They're not supposed to give you anything. You're supposed to leverage what they've built. I wish they could understand that relationship. I don't know. Anyway, So I can't continue to pour my heart into an organization that doesn't seem to be working to support those who compete in. Okay, so that deserves for me to read that. That also needs a little. That's like an opening sentence to a paragraph. I'm hoping I'm going to click on the next slide and he's going to give some examples, because if not, we're already in Meredith Rootland.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what he means by pour my heart, or what kind of support he wants.
Right.
So I'd have to make up, like, I don't know what those are. Over the last several years, athletes have worked together and so he's not going to do it. We're
Nope.
already off in La La Land. Over the last several years, athletes have worked together and consistently voiced concerns, brought solutions regarding competition safety, fairness, and the overall direction of the sport, and our efforts have been largely dismissed by leadership. So now he's like on the moral high ground, like somehow he wanted something and didn't get it and he's leaving. And that's his prerogative. I no judgment there. You wanted Evian water and you've said it for 10 years and they've only been bringing you tap water. Fuck you, I'm out.
Got it. Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing on the leadership's part. That's just because he doesn't like the water they serve. It's not, it's CrossFit's it's theirs. It's theirs. And hey, there was nothing from you bringing your own water.
Right.
Last summer, I lost a friend. Lazar's death was a tragedy, and while there were multiple factors at play, I believe the leadership decision within the CrossFit Games team played a role. Okay, fair enough. I agree with that. The response from CrossFit Inc. or lack thereof has made one thing clear: meaningful change is not coming anytime soon. Here we go again. We have no fucking idea what he'd want from them.
Yeah.
The response from CrossFit Inc. or lack thereof has made one thing for our sport to evolve. We need the concern, safety, well-being of its athletes to be a priority rather than dismissed, belittled, or outright ignored. I'm finished being patient and trusting, and I'm done shouting into the void. So I've followed this pretty closely. I wouldn't say as close as everyone, but pretty closely. And what I would like to see them put together is like a list of things athletes could do and a list of things CrossFit can do. So, hey, dear CrossFit athletes, here's 5 things you can do if there's a swim event. You can make sure you pass a local swim lesson test from a professional swimmer. Take CPR. Like Fikowski never shared with anyone, and I had to learn from filming him. Bring mouthwash to the event to clean it. Number 4, make sure you check with the people who you know how he drinks mouthwash after the event to clean the bacteria. Number 4, go to a doctor and make sure you get your heart checked before all CrossFit events. Number 5, you know what I mean? Just make this list and then have the same thing for CrossFit. CrossFit, we want one for every athlete in the water. We want one swim person. Please verify that all people have passed the swimming test. Make sure all the athletes are CPR certified. Like, just, there's nothing.
Yeah, but then if they demand
He
all
gives
of that,
nothing.
if they demanded all of that and even listed it out like that, and let's say they did it a year or 2 ago, and then CrossFit heard it, it was specific, and then they just said no.
That's CrossFit's prerogative, but at least I would value his opinion. At least then I could be like, how does anyone get on Pat's side and understanding if he doesn't do that?
Yeah. It's just the symbolism. That's all.
Imagine someone saying, hey, I hated dating your sister because she didn't provide what I wanted on a date.
And you asked her what it was, and they did.
Yeah,
say,
and
well,
you're
I voiced my concerns, and
Yeah.
leadership was she never mentioned them. She never acted on it.
All I would think is like, wow, Pat wants every time he dates my sister for her to suck his dick, and she won't. I'd have to make up my own shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, he's a contender every year, and his performance at Wadapalooza proves that. I agree.
For sure.
No, I agree. Last summer, okay, so he lost his buddy Lazar. We need a truly independent safety council with decision-making powers during the games, along with significantly improved two-way communication. Oh, so here are some things he's drilling down on.
Yeah, that's good.
I'll walk back my criticism a little bit. We need truly independent safety counsel with decision-making powers during the games, along with significantly improved two-way communication. Which we caught them lying in. Pedro caught him and Fikowski lying in, so that really undermined their shit. Do you remember that show?
Yeah,
It was
I do.
Did you meet with Dave? And he's like, "Oh fuck!" And he fell out of his chair and drinking water.
I need to get my water.
Yeah. So I don't. I'm gonna call bullshit on that. The current mechanism for athlete input doesn't seem to carry any real weight, and we need the concerns of athletes to be a top priority. Right now, at least for me, rebuilding trust feels like a long road ahead. I'm not sure what this means. And we need the concerns of athletes. I would need to know what those concerns are. I still don't know what those concerns are. I just can't. Every time I hear these guys talk, they're so petty and so vague that I can't trust them I would never trust them with their concerns. They might ruin the event.
Yeah. And it sounds like with the whole two-way communication and stuff like that, it's like you just want more chefs in the kitchen. In an event of that size with that many things going on, it's like you can't have, you know what I mean? You can't have all those chefs in the kitchen. Even watching the way JR does stuff at Crash, like he's super accessible to all the athletes and stuff. And that just ran at his gym where it's very intimate. And there's still things in place before the athletes just always run right to JR and like do stuff. You know what I mean? Like they'd go to like Lizzie first for some sort of like rep or anything like that. Then of course that gets brought to JR. But like at the same time, it's like if you just had access to all the athletes to throw stuff out there and JR was expected to accommodate each one of those, the event would never just get off the ground.
For sure. Well said. Never get off the ground. Pat Lang, rebuilding trust means nothing. Just say what you want. More lifeguards next time. Boom. Everyone wins. These are the aging out athletes. Have any young guns opted out?
No, and nor will they.
Because they're still in appreciation and anticipation. They're not at expectation, entitlement, and dependency.
That's right. Yeah.
And these guys are poisoning the well. Like they're sharing, like you could tell by when we interviewed Gracie Walton that these fucking old timers are poisoning the well, the shit that they're saying. For the last decade, a huge part of my life has been devoted to CrossFit Games season. Me too. Longer than yours, even, Pat. And I've always been grateful for the opportunities it has provided me. I don't know if I've always been grateful. I know this isn't about me, but I can't help it. This fitness community has truly changed my life. Through it, I've made friends, gained opportunities, built a community, maintained a level of physical fitness I'm extremely proud of. I'm sure these things ring true for most people reading this post, whether you throw down twice a week at your local box or line up next to me and to compete on the world stage, or at least on YouTube. For these reasons, I will always remain involved with it both locally and more broadly. I don't think of Pat as a very involved athlete.
Yeah, me either.
And maybe I'm wrong, but you haven't even taken your level 1 and you poo-poo it. And like, hey, dude, people taking the level 1 and opening affiliates, if you don't understand the importance of that to the growth of the sport as the #1 driving factor, then you're not involved at all. You've completely lost touch.
And here's the other thing too, like if they haven't even posted all of this, how much would the story even be? Like when they should have like, oh, he's not in this year. Oh, he's not competing. And then it's like, oh, okay.
I just look up at this comment. Someone commented, I will always support the CrossFit community. Not doing the open and posting things like this only hurts that community.
Yeah, that's Sean. Shout out Sean. With 16 comments on there, I bet he's in a war now, huh?
Can you give me actual negligent actions that you've mentioned?
Oh, look at Tank Reeves coming to save him.
Free speech is what it is. You can hate or just let the dude do his thing.
Oh, he said, bro, refresh it.
Refresh what?
That. Now look, you got 40 replies.
Oh, shit.
Sean, you're going to turn that notification off on Instagram if you have it turned on, buddy. This is probably just getting going. You're only like 20 minutes in. Amazing.
Sean, the Open is not the community. 80% of CrossFit box members don't sign up for the Open in any given year. Yeah, and guess what? With that logic, guess how much the games is important to a CrossFit then?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say.
Because if it's 87% don't do the Open, then it's 99.9% don't give a fuck about the games.
Yep. Hey, I honestly think the Open would thrive 10x if they ditched the games.
Okay, so he's going to act locally and more broadly. I don't know what that means. I'm not stepping away from the sport. In fact, this year I'll be competing more than ever. But if you're looking for me on the CrossFit Games leaderboard in a couple weeks, just know I won't be hitting submit on my open registration form. And that's intentional. This year, I'm reinvesting my energy into the people I love and the places that value athletes and competition and integrity. First stop, WFP, Indianapolis. I'm reinvesting my energy into the people I love. So listen, the people who made him, Pat Vellner, are the people who are going to go to the games and the people doing the Open.
Yeah, of course.
And he's saying, I competed. He competed in front of these people, and he obviously. I'm going with the presupposition that he loves those people, and he loves competing in front of fans, and he loves the adoration, and it's a pleasurable for him. The same way it's pleasurable for me to do this podcast, right? And have all these people in here, and he loves the stimulus, right? It's titillating for him. It's exciting. It's validating. All this shit. And now he's saying, "Thanks for making me. I'm picking up my toys and I'm leaving the sandbox because the sandbox hasn't been nice to me. I'm making a statement." And I get, and I'm with him on all that. But then he said, but he's going to go to a place that values athletes. You listen, you are not going to go anywhere bigger than the place where athletes are valued the most anywhere in the world is the CrossFit Games. Best prize money, best judges, best media, best equipment. But like it's the best of everything. You have I want to say that you've fallen into expectation, entitlement, and dependency, and you're about to have a fucking ruthless, rude awakening. The fact that people don't complain nonstop about Wadapalooza is because they don't expect a lot from Wadapalooza. And that's not a dig at Wadapalooza. First stop, WFP. That's actually a compliment because I use them instead of Crash as the example because they're big. Wadapalooza is huge. I've always supported the CrossFit community. I don't know if I agree with that. And those who love this methodology, I definitely don't agree with that. He doesn't even know the methodology. He doesn't know. He's fucking completely clueless. Good luck to everyone this season, whatever that looks like for you. Just find your crew and have a blast throwing down. Whether it's the game season or something else, just keep finding ways to challenge yourself. That's all it's ever been about.
Who is he talking to? Whether it's the game
I don't know,
or something else.
But if finding ways to challenge yourself, that's all it's ever been about, then you fucking run from the biggest challenge of all. It got really Lazar died. It got really challenging, and you have acted in fear and run. You've run. Just like Adler did and Laura did at the games, just like all the athletes who pulled out did. You had an opportunity to overcome something wild. I'm not judging those people other than objectively. Colton Merton's mom died right before, the day before she passed. It would have been totally the Open announcement against Justin. It would have been totally legit to be like, "Hey man, I'm chilling."
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
And it's totally legit that Lazar died and you pulled out. But just own the responsibility that you missed that opportunity.
Right.
All it was an opportunity, and like you showed how you react in times of like really, really big trauma, and that's okay. Fucking we've all done it. But man, own up. Own up. Shit's getting really hard and you split. It got too hard. That's okay. Fucking happens to me every day. Kids are going batshit crazy. I walk into my room and lay on my bed and take 5 deep breaths. Don't fucking murder someone. I get it. He'll never be back. He's done. He's retired.
Yeah, all of them are, because it'll be interesting just to see what happens in a year with the World Fitness Project, because I think it sounds like a lot of them are banking on that, because if that wasn't that other option, where would they go to?
Yeah.
And so, like, you know, it's not, the jury's still not out on that one, because it's got to go through its full season. And like in the clip that we were going to play of Rich, it's like, what are you pointing people at? So if everybody's like, hey, this is really cool, like, what do you don't point them anywhere. There's no seminar, there's no affiliateship, there's no like gym for them to go to. It's just like, hey, we'll just next season, just wait and watch us.
And we'll pull that clip up here in 1 second. You got a few more minutes?
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
very
Okay.
short though. I got to jam because I'm going to be all over the fucking place.
I criticized him for making demands in the past, not willing to protest the games. I admit he did stand on principle because they didn't meet his demands. Fair enough. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. I respect that, Daniel. That's a great fucking point. Pat standing up to his yeah, fuck you. I don't like the way you're doing the games. I wish I could believe him more when he talks about trust. I don't trust anything he's saying.
Well, you don't know what he's saying, so it's like hard to. What are you trusting, right? Like we don't really know the opinion in full.
Okay, Susie's gonna play this. We'll talk, and then he'll leave, and then we'll talk about it. Okay, here we go.
I think problem.
Well, here's
but
the deal: is
without
like,
this,
is WFP going to open up some affiliates? Right? Like, what are you going to point people that are doing?
Yeah.
You pointing them to a High Rocks gym?
Yeah.
Like,
Where are they pointing them? Because they want to be.
So if you're
disassociated with CrossFit,
if you're disassociated with CrossFit, what's the end?
They're like, so hey man, how do I get into this with you guys? Like, well, I don't know.
You have to go to a gym.
Yeah, go to a gym. Like, okay.
Check out our movement library. We're opening up gyms. I mean, hey, maybe that is it.
Maybe they are gonna. I don't know, but yeah, you're like, I don't know where do I go from here? Like, how do I want to get involved in this? How do I even get involved? Like, oh, just come on. Like, I don't know how to do any of this stuff.
How do I learn to do any of these movements?
Yeah, how do I learn to do
you
any
do one
of
of our lower level competitions to become a pro.
Yeah, you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, so I don't know.
What are they saying, Matt? They're saying, where's the funnel that's going to feed this thing?
Yeah, like, so if you saw it, like, let's say they hit out of the park and got some like ESPN contract, and you happen to stumble upon it, you watch it, and you're like, this is amazing. Like, I'm gonna look it up, World Fitness Project, and you look it up. They're saying like, how do you get involved? What do I do? There's no funnel system. There's no entry level, and then you work your way through semifinals or this at a chance to compete in the World Fitness Project. And if you were super, super new to it and just excited to like do that movements and do what they were doing, where are you going to point them? Just go to a gym? Are you going to say a CrossFit gym? Are you going to like, you know what I mean? So that's what they're saying. It's like, hey, if you do attract an audience that cares enough to watch you and then buy the stuff that you guys sell, tickets, whatever, like, what does that audience do once they get inspired by what they see? And that's kind of what they're saying there. And that's the way that I see it too, because like, if you were going to create, a community or revenue or something out of it, like, it's closed off. It's a really exclusive community right now, because the only people that were involved were the ones that got handpicked to be involved.
Right.
So like, there's like, how do you participate?
All right. Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hang on for a little bit.
Awesome. I'll
thank you. Keep me
I'll
posted.
give you a call. Yeah, I'll give you a call afterwards. Cool.
Okay.
All right. Bye, guys. Bye, buddy.
Susan brought up a really good point about the ESPN thing. I do want to say this to the people who are running that the WTF. You can make these into ESPN shows. It's very easy. I made arm wrestling shows in the bedroom at my mom's house. I don't remember how many I made, 3 or 7 or 9, or I commentated them. I did the whole thing, and I gave them over to ESPN. And I want to say ESPN and ESPN2 ran them more than 300 times, and they got great ratings. You could make these into shows and just give them to ESPN. They might charge you. They might say, hey, we're going to charge you. But if you make them good enough, make a handful of shows, get a lot of eyeballs. If you guys are flush with cash, you could probably do that. You could probably make those 3 shows for, if you find, people who are really passionate and will give you their all, you could probably make all 3 of those shows for $250,000. You could for sure pay ESPN $300,000 to air them. I'm sure the athletes would really appreciate that, the WTF athletes. No. No, you don't get paid for your shows. It's crazy. ESPN, I haven't dealt with them in a while, but back in the day, I mean, you know, all those bass fishing shows and all those shows that just play throughout the night on ESPN, they pay fucking ESPN shitloads of money to run those shows. Or they used to. And when I made these arm wrestling shows, at first they wanted to charge the guy I made them for. It was just me and my girlfriend made them at the time. We just took 2 cameras to the United States National Championships of Arm Wrestling. I did sit-down interviews. I wonder if you can still find those shows. I should upload those to my YouTube channel. They killed. And I remember they were getting better ratings than women's college basketball or hockey in the United States. Or they got great ratings. They were great. I think I made 3 30-minute shows for each weight class, or maybe I can't remember exactly. But basically, I've just filmed these shows. I brought the footage home to my house, and then I edited it together into a 24.5-minute show or something like that, 27.5-minute show. And I put in commercial places for commercial breaks. And then I just had John Berzink and Travis Bajent come over to my house, and they sat on the bed at my mom's house, and we pretended to commentate the event like it was live. And then I packaged it all up and I delivered it to ESPN, and they just started showing it like crazy. They did do better than hockey. Much better than hockey. Hockey at that time wasn't even pulling. They weren't even pulling. I don't know how hockey does now, but we were averaging 300,000 views per screening, and hockey was like 190. We were crushing hockey. This is in 1999, maybe. I don't think hockey's gotten. Sorry, Ken. I don't think hockey's gotten much more popular. Sabrina Seymour. Well, hello. For every one of these retired athletes not competing, there's hundreds of athletes that exhibit self-accountability and the fringe cult attitude that CrossFit started as. Let's talk about them. Oh, we will. The page is going to turn here very quickly on those guys. It's going to become, what have you done for me lately? The page is, I mean, that's just the way it is. It's like Tyson Bagent said the other day, it's dance, monkey, dance. And that's exactly what it is. And it's okay. That's not a bad thing. I don't need more than that. If I'm your favorite monkey, I'm stoked. If I'm your favorite monkey, I'm stoked. I wish I could hear you making porno story again for the first time. Oh. When I edited porn for 2 days or 1 day. God, that was crazy. I found the dude on Craigslist. I don't remember how I found him. I think he just said looking for an editor or something. And it was this black dude, and I went to his house. It was in the crazy hood. There's hood, and then there's crazy hood. There's hood that's like old hood, you know, like it's different than like new hood. New hood is like violent. Old hood is like more drug shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like the zombies. And I went into this dude's fucking house in his apartment building. It was on the 2nd floor. It was in Oakland. And he just pulls out this shoe, and he's this really fucking skinny black dude. And there's a chick in the house just sitting on the couch. She doesn't say shit. I think there was a chick. And he just pulls out this shoebox of tapes and hands them to me. I'm like, okay. He's like, can I trust you with this? I'm like, yeah. I'm going to edit all this. And he hated my editing. That's it. That's the only part I'm going to. I didn't need you to retell it. Well, that's the only part I'm going to tell. I'm not feeling vulnerable enough to tell the other what happened over the next 48 hours. Oh, that's a stupid idea. Jesus Christ. Someone text me and be like, wrote, and I hope they're joking. God, I hope you're joking. Dear Lord, I hope you are joking. Someone wrote, and donate 5% of the profits from the show to LEOs and first responders. Profits from the show. There's not going to be any profits from the show. It's just we're going to give all the money to the, there's not going to be profits from the show. We're just going to give the money to, does anyone call in anymore? Mr. Waddell. Yeah, I think we had 2 or 3 call-ins today. People hate the callers. Dude, we had some great Bible talk today. It was cool that Sousa was on here when there was Bible talk because he kind of started zoning out. And I was like, oh, that's probably how like half the listeners are when we do Bible talk. They just zone out. He's like, fuck this. I love Bible talk. Let's see. Jeremy, Brianna, Noodles, Religious Bryson. Religious Bryson. No, Julia. I will not play that video. I don't think that translates well to the show. Julia sent me a picture of a lady with giant tits and she swings them around. You know what I mean? I mean, they're under her clothes. I don't think that plays well. I don't know why. If it was full screen, if I could make it full screen, I would play it. All right. Well, Pat, I hope you find your way. I must say I'm glad I say this not to be, well, I'm glad you're leaving. I'm glad a lot of you are leaving. I wish more of you would leave. I think you are unhealthy for the space. I think your time has come. I don't think you're helping things move forward. I think your negativity and your constant complaints without solutions and without details is exhausting and yet makes for great media. But I'm glad you're leaving. I'm glad Chandler's leaving. The more people that leave, I think the better. And to make room for the new crop who's going to just absolutely kill. And then we'll go through the same cycle again. So, those of you who are around when I'm 62 years old and doing this show, you'll be like, oh shit, Sevon, you're right. It's just a cycle of the athletes going from appreciation, anticipation, expectation, entitlement, and dependency. This is the 4th generation I've seen do it. Third generation. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Thursday. I'm going to just check to see what else is on today. YouTube. It's a nice gesture, right? Get with the program. Get with the programming, chasing them. They have a show. Oh, they have a show today at 10:30 a.m. Okay. It's called The Pull Up. The Pull Up. Okay, that's good. Okay, so that's in an hour. Let's do coffee, pods, and wads. His next show, Pedro's next show is Luke De Jong. Oh, he's changed quite a bit. Looking, that's the guy from Australia. Great dude. The Jongest Yard, Luke De Jong. Oh, hit notify me that's on the 17th. That's in 3 days. Barbell Spin. Do they just do one live show a week? Barbell Spin, is that where we're at with them? Live. I don't see anything scheduled. They did a show yesterday called World Fitness Project. Holy shit, it has 6,000 views already. All right. Anyone else? Rest in peace, Binge Bros. I know, right? I don't know what's going on. Bug Hiller. The man traded Dexter for a stuffed bear. It's all psychopath shit. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.